never find.
You can never find that.
I can never find Sonny's music. There it is.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Wait.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Wait. Did you press it too?
Yeah.
Y'all pressing that.
Everybody pressing the damn button. Shout out Erica Sinclair.
Hey, there you go. Tighter Raiders in there, Paul.
Hey.
Good afternoon and good morning. Michelle Sweat. Hey.
Michelle, how come you're not here?
What the hell you doing? Where you at? Where you at? B. Al. What's going on, my friend? I can't wait for the Raider season to start.
Oh my gosh. When are they going to start playing football?
I don't know. Hoping soon.
That'd be awesome.
Did you hear we got Devonta Adams and Chandler Jones?
No way.
Dude, it's going to be so good. Just ask Kil'jaedus. He says, "Oh yeah." Ebony Graves, what's up, girl? It's my wife's new best friend. Jay Jackson's in there, Raider Gears and Threads. What's going on? Rev Raider, my wife.
Hey, Miss Chris.
Hey, baby girl. Matthew Mangus is in there.
What's up, Matthew?
Good to see you, buddy. Pineapple's in there. Herman Munster. Raider Critique. Holy cow. We miss you too, Jay. Sinister Rain's in there.
Ooh, Sinister Rain?
Yeah.
Wow, gnarly.
Raider Nomad.
What's up, Raider Nomad? All right, here we go. Episode number 264 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, look top, a leaping top, touchdown!
We miss you. We love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 264 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from Murph's Fan Cave, or as the kids call it, the bonus room, which was rocking this past Friday night, but we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. First and foremost, top here of the show, I want to shout out our buddy Rev Raider in the chat. Good to meet you, Rev Raider, by the way. Got got a chance to meet him this weekend, and he says, "Good evening, nation. Watching during a hurricane. Go Raiders. I still love you." Hey, we love you too, man. We're thinking about everybody down there in the state of Florida that's getting impacted by Hurricane Ian that is coming through. So y'all batten down the hatches and stay safe, and just know that we're thinking about you and we love you. All right, so we got a ton of show to get to tonight, so I'm going to save you all the normal housekeeping at the top of the show. We'll get to that kind of as we go, and so two-man booth tonight. And so first off, let's welcome into the show the man that adorns the western annex of the southern annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk. He is my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff.
Well, yeah, he is. Absolutely, man. Oh, my gosh.
Swaggo.
Holy cow, man. What a weekend. What a weekend that was. Oh, my gosh. We made a ton of new best friends and all that. Got to hang out with some awesome people. I want to give a shout out to Raider and Ebony and Tyrone Graves. I had never met Ebony and Tyrone, and I know you hadn't either and any of that.
Yeah.
They're the coolest freaking people, man.
The coolest
Just
folks.
everyone that was in the fan cave on Friday night hanging out with us Saturday and Sunday. We love you. We thank you for all the support and your friendship and love and all that. It was so great. It was so great that I binge drank for 3 days straight, so now I'm just murdering my thirst. Liquid
Shout
Death,
out,
not
no
a
free shout
sponsor.
out. Yeah.
Liquid Death, not a sponsor, but working on some severed lime tonight because man,
Because you severed your liver.
because I severed my liver thanks to Terramana tequila.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we had an absolute blast. Like I said, we're going to get to kind of everything here in the rundown when we get to respect, but we have had an absolute amazing weekend. I got to say, Jeff, this might have been, we've had a lot of great Raider trips. We've had a lot of great Raider weekends. This might have been an all-timer, man. I mean,
I totally agree.
And sadly, there were some of our good friends that we haven't got a chance yet to break bread with and shake hands and share drinks. Folks like Ron, folks like Paul, we haven't got a chance.
Sure.
And my cousin Sonny sadly couldn't make it in this week. But literally, our favorite people were all together in the same place. And it's like when we say this Raider Nation thing is family, man, we're not joking. And family is who you choose to surround yourself with. And we surrounded ourselves with some amazing people, and thankfully you all were willing to come and share our space, because it was, like Jeff said, man, it was just incredible. It was just an amazing weekend. But anyways,
yes.
we'll get to that. First off, I do want to thank our good friends at Just Blog Baby and also Fansided. Thank you so much to them for supporting Raiders Fan Radio and making us the official podcast of those websites. And just know this, Raider Nation, any of the love and support you get from us or that you give to us, any of the money that we make from that, I'm sure you're noticing if you listen to the audio version of the podcast, there's some ads in there. I don't think they're too intrusive, and we're able to kind of pick and choose where we put them. But those ads, we're making money off of that, and 100% of that money that we make goes to the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit that we founded when we realized we could make money with this little show that we do here in the bonus room. So appreciate those good folks there, and appreciate those of you that listen to us on the audio podcast. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a review, 5 stars, or 2 or 1, whatever. You do what you do. I'm not here to control you.
Just do what you do,
Just
man.
do what you do, but just do it.
But you got to do it.
But you got to do it.
Yeah,
And so thank you for that.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Absolutely. And what's kind of cool is that we're approaching, I'm not going to tell you what the number is, but we're approaching a milestone for our show, for average listeners or average downloads. So I'm not going to give you the inside baseball about it. You can look it up about how podcasting works versus advertising, but it's all about the download. I'll just tell you that. And we're getting ready to hit a milestone for the first time ever on the downloads. And that's because of the support you give us and because of Fansided and Just Blog Baby. And so thank you very, very much to them. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat room. I'll leave Swag Jeff to shout you out, give you some respect, and then Swaggo, tell us about our episode number.
Oh my gosh. Well, first and foremost, thanks everyone for joining in the chat. Raider Critique is in there. Tyrone Graves is in there, says Swaggo's my dude now. So when the wrestling showdown happens, look for me to come out like the Ultimate Warrior to aid him. Heck yeah,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, Tyrone he's such a good dude, man. Jay Jackson's in there from Arizona Raider Nation. Ron the Mater Raider. Alfredo's in there. Paul's in there.
Paul?
Fargo Raider. Mac Bud's in there. Sinister Rain's in there. Pineapple. My wife's in there. Erica S is in there. What's up, Erica? Ebony Graves, which is just an all-timer. We love her. But yeah, White Stallion's in there. Daniel Mangus is in there. Daniel Mangus says, I'm here. What did I miss? So much, Daniel.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, so much, man. We just ran down everything for you, man. But yes, so Episode 264. Is that where we're at?
We're at 264.
We did like 18 shows last week.
We really did. I hope you guys were digging the content.
Yes.
I felt like we kind of flooded our socials and the YouTube channel here with plenty of good stuff, and hope you guys liked it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Sorry, I was reading the chat. But yes, episode 264. So each and every week. Hey, easy
you mind,
with the lightsaber.
You mind being over here on the show?
Yeah, for sure.
That was Michelle texting. She said, "Oh my gosh, I totally would have been there."
Oh, what the hell, Michelle?
Yeah,
where the hell were you at, bro?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! Hey, so episode 264. So each and every week, I take a significant moment within Raider Nation and relate it back to the episode number. And I got 2 for you this week. So first off, we're gonna go back to 2010, towards the end of the season, and now this is when head coach Josh McDaniels is replaced as the Broncos head coach. So the first game after that.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you. You just keep going.
It's okay.
I'm over here texting with Michelle.
Yeah, hey,
we're doing our own show. We're doing 265.
Oh my gosh, Michelle Fan Radio over there. Come back. Let's snap back over here, man. So the Raiders beat the Josh McDaniel-less Broncos 39-23, and the Raiders put up 502 total yards, led by Darren McFadden and Jacoby Fort's electrifying 71-yard end-around touchdown. The Raiders that day had 264 rushing yards.
Oh, nice, Swaggo.
Absolutely. And if you didn't like that, I'll give you a career stat.
I love a career stat.
We love a good career stat around here, and we are going to be talking about Rocket.
Oh.
Jalen Richard, man, number 30.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Rocket Ismail for a minute.
No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No. My Rocket.
Your Rocket.
In my fandom time.
Oh, okay.
That's Rocket Richard, and he's had 264 rushing attempts in his Raider career.
Oh, nice.
So much respect. We miss you, Rocket. I can't believe that dude's not on a team.
It's weird, huh?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, you would think, he was a pretty good player. Like, I know he wasn't like an all-timer or nothing. I'm not gonna pretend like he was.
A good rotational piece.
Absolutely, a good third down back and kind of catch a little bit. I mean, you know what I mean? Why not? Why not?
For sure.
Okay,
for sure.
All right, let's hit some contact info.
Yeah, here at the top of the show. Here it is.
Woo!
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com.
Tighter Raider said,
what about reaching out
Michelle
to us on some
Radio,
of that
not
social
Michelle
media
Fan Radio.
stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The ticky-ticky-docky-dock. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
It was me. My bad. I Leatherwood that one. Why do I gotta catch booze though, man? It wasn't that bad.
Oh my gosh. Shut up! I'm gonna do the whole show in just sound bites.
There you go. Nice. Hey, don't forget, I got sound bites over here too.
Oh, nice. I think that may be the only one you have.
That might be the only one I have. I'll have to dig around and see if I have some more.
So before we jump into the respects...
I do this one.
It's Friday, and you ain't got shit to do.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So, hey, before we jump into respect, I want to give respect to Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Says, greetings, nation, with a 1911 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Hey, thank you, Capo.
Thank you very much.
And speaking of respect to Capo.
Yes.
Capo, he donated something for us to auction off here. We're going to probably give it a couple weeks here before we auction it off. But I'll just say there is a very elaborate and cool badass timepiece that has been donated to the fan cave and to Raiders Fan Radio for Raider Nation. What the hell we call it? One Nation Foundation proceeds. And so I'm still running. I'm going to say this.
You're still half drunk.
I'm still sputtering a little bit after the weekend. We had such a crazy freaking weekend. But again, we're going to get to that here in just a minute at the top of this segment, what we call respect. But before we get to that, Black Sunday Joel in the chat room.
Sure.
Interesting question. Murph, Swag, Mosh, do we bench Carr if we are losing before halftime? So for those of you that are in the, when are you going to talk about the Raiders? Well, how about right now?
This week? Is that what he's talking about? This week or the halfway point of the season?
If we're losing, but no, before halftime. I'm taking that as that it's halftime of this game at Allegiant Stadium versus the Denver Broncos. I think there's a little. That's an interesting question. No, my answer to that is no. If they're getting blown out by 30 and you don't want to get them hurt or something like that, maybe then that would make sense. But if you're down a score or whatever, or even 2 scores, or even 3 maybe, you're probably not going to. I don't think if you see a quarterback change, and that's if, it would be after the bye week. You're not going to, they're not making, look, I say this for years, I've been saying this. Mark Davis is going to be your owner. Freaking Derek Carr is going to be your quarterback. I used to say John Gruden's going to be your head coach, but then he started firing off illicit emails, and then that wasn't going to happen. But like, those 2 things are going to be the thing until the Raiders might make a change in the offseason because there's no dead money. They can cut and or trade Derek Carr. So if there's a move to be made, it will be there. But I don't even think, and we're going to talk a lot about this in a minute, but let's keep it to this specific question, Jeff. Do you think there's any world where Carr gets benched ever?
No, I don't think so. Now if this was last year and we, because what's the alternative? What are we going to do?
Jarrett
You're going to rock with Jarrett Stidham, but at the end of the day, and I like what OG Daniel said, he said, how about we just bench Josh McDaniels if we're losing at halftime? Because the play calling is bad. And Aaron the Q-Dog Raider said, I almost benched Darren Waller on Sunday, who I called out to be my MVP on Sunday, and he would have had if he had sure hands, but no, I don't see a scenario where that happens, I don't know, but I'm kind of with you, man. If there's no dead cap after this, then, this season is very telling. But I will say that I think it might be good for Derek Carr to get benched at some point because of play, because of how he's playing. There's always some sort of adversity or something that fires him up, and we don't understand why it takes something like that to get the guy motivated and to get the guy going. But it always takes something, whether it's, all the shit that happened last year and all that stuff, and we got the great play from him at the end right there. Maybe sit his ass for a half and see what happens. I don't not agree with that. I think it would be,
if it's a message to be sent more.
Yeah. Because how many coaches do that? Maybe not so much nowadays, but back 10, 15 years ago, they sit your ass on the bench if you threw 2 interceptions.
Well, that's the thing, though. But Derek's not going out and rifling off 4 interceptions. Now, if that were to happen, Black Sunday Joel, I think there's a world where that makes sense. But I don't see Derek Carr doing that. Derek Carr's too good. He's not going to go out there and do that.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. Respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
All right, so appreciate that. Everybody's in the chat room tonight. Fade to Black is in there. Says, salute, Murph and Swag. Salute to you. Absolutely. Kil'jaedus, Tyrone Grays, Michelle Sweat, Black Sunday Joe. Michelle Sweat, by the way, here we go. A little breaking news.
Okay.
Little announcement here. Speaking of giving a little bit of respect, let's give respect to your bestie, which it's kind of funny because I introduced you as my best friend and yours.
Sure.
It'd be cool if you announced Michelle as my best friend and yours. Yeah. Anyway, so Swag's best friend and mine, right? Yes, or ours. No, ours.
Our best
My
friend.
best friend and ours would be Michelle Sweat. And Michelle Sweat is going to be a little bit more of a frequent contributor around here.
Yes.
At Raiders Fan Radio. For those of you that followed our YouTube feed this weekend, we did an RFR After Dark show, an RFR Rated R on Friday. That at one point, Jeff and I are kind of standing off over the corner of the fan cave here, just watching some of our favorite people do this show without us. And it was amazing. And Michelle led.
She was the
most
play
of it.
caller. She was leading it, and she was doing fantastic.
Did so good. So we extended an invitation to Michelle that night to come back and be a bigger part of Raiders Fan Radio. And so as her time and schedule allows, you will definitely see her in here more often. And of course, our good friend QB Jeff, when he gets done with his MTSU obligations, calling those games for the radio, you'll see him back in here as well. But yeah, much respect to Michelle Sweat.
And much respect also to Ebony Graves in the chat, who says, thank you guys for a wonderful time and the amazing hospitality. Michelle introduced me to Screwball and was dancing with me all night. Chris for becoming my new bestie. Ty for keeping the party going all night long with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you,
Ebony, we love you, girl. Much respect. That was so much fun. And then Pineapple also said, it's not Kiffin bad yet, but Mark might want to break out the overhead projector. And Pineapple donates $20 to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you, Pineapple.
Thank you guys very, very
Thank
much.
you, Miss Ebony. Thank you, Pineapple. And yeah, man, just an amazing time this weekend, which we're going to get to in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to give respect here at the top of the show to, we say this Raider Nation thing is family. Sometimes it's by blood, and that is my cousin Sonny. Cousin Sonny called in this week, and I thought dropped an amazing voicemail. So here at the top of the show, not only do I want to give Sonny respect, but I want to give respect to those of you that kind of follow suit with his take on this, because that's definitely what we all did this weekend. And I think this is a very important point to make.
Murph, it's cousin Sonny. You do not have to get the beat button ready. Uncle Mosh, Swag, QB, Pollyanna, Capo, Ron the Raider, all the made men boys, and the boys and the men's, the boys to men, ABC, DD. Murph, I realized a long time ago that you realize this too. Being a Raiders fan forces you to do life differently. And I learned that I had to stop caring about football because the outcome was always shitty. Oh, dang it! I didn't want to make you do the beat button. Anyway, I stopped caring about football because the outcome was so crappy because of who I rooted for. I started caring more about who I did football with. So I stopped caring about football, and I started caring about who I did football with. And, the Raiders have been awful for the majority of my adult life. For all of my life, I have lived in the shadow of the Raiders' success in the 70s that was told to me by my father. And I wasn't even a Raiders fan. I didn't really follow sports when they went to the Super Bowl and with the Gruden era the first time around. So the Raiders for my whole life have stunk. And because of that, I've learned to not rely on wins to fulfill my life and make myself happy, whatever, being a sports fan, but who I watch the games with. And whether that's a Raiders thing or the life of rooting for a crappy team thing, that's what we got. And the memories I have of the Raiders will fuel me for my life, right? Going to the last home game we ever went to down there in Oakland, and Q Dog was known as K Fettle, or Josh trying to take a swipe at Swag Jeff, and Swag Jeff hits the B button and does the step back, and Murph takes a nosedive into the bark dust. Or, Murph, those special nights when you wake up to your cousin peeing in the mini fridge. That's why we root for the Raiders, because I could root for the Patriots and have more wins, but I ain't going to have more fun. So no beats. No beats. Murph, we should stop caring about the football outcomes and start caring about who we do football with. From the outside looking in, looks like you guys had a great weekend. I love Raiders Fan Radio. I love everybody who's a part of it. Go Raiders. And hey, no expectations. That's how we know how to root for our team.
Hey, there he is. Cousin Sonny.
Much respect. Absolutely. Well, yeah, We say it every year. We get really hype, and then something bad happens, and we go, "Well, thank you, Raiders, for relieving us of all expectations for this season." But I think this weekend, and we'll get more into that in just a moment. But I think this weekend really exemplifies that because when the Raiders come to town, to our hometown, and we get to see them play in our home stadium and all that here in town, and we put in a performance like that, we'd still be sad sacking pretty hard. But you know what? I haven't sad sacked really all that much this week. A little bit on Sunday.
But, we were down pretty bad on Sunday.
We were down
pretty bad.
Yeah. But the people that we shared the whole weekend with made it more worth that, and I care more about that than the outcome that was on the field.
Absolutely. We do a little thing with Silver and Black today, and much respect to Scott Gilbranson, Mo Moten, Evan Grote, for giving us a spot on that show as a voice of the fan, and in my post game with them this week. That's what I was telling them. I'm like, this now, we were still there at Nissan Stadium, and I pointed back to the field, and I said, this was the worst part of my weekend. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We had so much damn fun with all these incredible people, and even at the game, we had a great time at the game. You, me, Ty, and my buddy Jimmy from back home. We all sat together. We sat 2 rows behind a freaking Raider bench.
Yep.
And so, when we were making fun of this one, not we're making fun at him, but we were making jokey things about this one cop that looked like Hunter Renfrow.
Yep.
And all this kind of stuff. We had a blast. That Mac Hollins pass that was right in front of us. There was some amazing moments, but the overall of it, of watching the game as a fan of the team, sucked. It really was the worst part of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And so, being that said, just like what Sonny said, it's who you watch the games with. Don't let and I say this all the time, you guys are probably sick of hearing me say it, but I mean it 100%. It's if you don't let the team's performance ruin your ability to have a good time. Don't let it keep you from getting together with your friends and your family. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the drinks. Enjoy the time spent. Enjoy the camaraderie. Enjoy the music. We had a damn party up in here. It was amazing. And speaking of that, I want to thank everybody that came. And if I tried to thank every person we met and every person that was involved in this weekend, we would do a 3-hour show. We'd be here all freaking night long.
Right.
So this is not me leaving anybody out, but you know who you are. Everybody that came here to the fan cave, everybody that met up with us at Domenico's, everybody that went to the Music City Raider Nation party downtown, which was
epic,
bananas.
Epic.
Dude, none of us expected the kind of turnout. Raider Nation, there were thousands upon thousands of Raider fans, elbow to elbow, in this bar. This band's playing all the hair metal music. It's fantastic. Everyone's rocking out. Everyone's having a good time. This is and I'm talking like a big ass bar, like 2 levels, like the whole 9 yards, like a big concert bar. And it was slammed with Raider fans.
Yeah.
There wasn't a Titan fan in sight.
Nope.
And it was amazing. So Music City Raider Nation, much respect. Memphis Raider Nation, much respect. They're the ones that put it together. Bam Raider and his wife Christella put on a hell of a party on Saturday night. That was badass. That's where we met Houston Raider Steve and John Ogle and people that in the chat. We got to meet a lot of those folks. It was great. So then that was Saturday. Then Sunday, everyone that came to our tailgate. Shout out to Boy Will Compton. Shout out Bussin' with the Boys. Shout out JP and Blas. And such an incredible time.
Absolutely.
My favorite time at the tailgate is I go up to the DJ and I threw him some cash and I go, hey man, can you play Blow the Whistle? And he goes, yeah, I can do that. And I go, okay, cool. I go, can you shout out Raider Fan Radio too? And he's like, I don't know, man, if I can. Because it's kind of a Titan event.
Sure.
I know Will was rooting for the Raiders that day and all that, but it's Bussin' with the Boys, a very Titan-centric kind of thing. Well, there was about 80% Raider fans there too, by the way. And so he goes, I don't know if I can. He goes, but I'll play the song. And I go, okay, fine. So he starts playing Blow the Whistle, and what does he do? And he goes, welcome to everybody that's here from Raiders Fan Radio. The whole freaking rooftop lights up. Everybody gathers up. Miss Ebony Graves gets in the middle and starts dancing, and everyone's just and it's funny because I looked at the faces of Jeff Murphy and his brother Mike Murphy and those of us that are have been to Oakland home games. It instantly turned into an Oakland tailgate, dude. That was amazing. It was so freaking fun. And so that it was just an amazing time. And so thanks to everybody that came out, that flew, drove, spent their hard-earned money to be part of what we do at Raiders Fan Radio in whatever facet that was, whether that was coming up and saying hi to us, grabbing a picture, sharing a drink. Jesus Alvarez drove from New Mexico, dude.
That's so
all
cool.
the freaking way. And I wish I could have spent more time with Jesus. I saw him right there at the very end of the day when we were all down pretty bad. And but I just got a chance to talk to him for a brief moment. But like, Jesus is the guy that drew this picture behind me of Hunter Renfrow. But anyways, all those folks, you know who you are. We love you. Such an amazing weekend, and I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I second literally everything you just said. I mean, the party Saturday night was crazy. The game on or the tailgate on Sunday was crazy. Friday night here in the fan cave was absolute insanity.
I haven't drank that much since my 20s.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever drank that much, period. Yeah, it was so freaking good, But and I want to give respect in the chat to Rev Raider, who says he donates $20 and says, had such a great time meeting you guys this weekend. You were so great to my wife and I. She's now completely converted to Raider Nation. Let's go.
Hey!
Yeah, absolutely. And I told Murph that I was more starstruck to meet Swag Jeff than Will Compton.
Yeah.
Much respect.
Much respect.
I wish that chat comment could get the Sizzler.
Absolutely. Yeah. Between Michael Chandler, Will Compton, and Swag Jeff, you were definitely the one that people were most
Yeah, for sure, man. And then Daniel Mangus in the chat with a $20 donation as well says, we have to win these next 2 weeks to save our season. Jones and Max, we need you.
True that.
Time for D8 and DC to light it up for sure. And Ebony Graves with another $10 donation says, oh yeah, and Capo, who kept the shots coming? You're awesome. But those shots took Tyrone out. And Miss Valerie, you totally rock as well.
Oh,
yeah.
that's my girl. That's Miss Valerie. Yeah, she was there for all of it, man. It was so fun having her be part of it. And that was the other cool thing too, is what all the wives and the girls were with us, man. That was so fun. And it was just, man, I could see we could do an entire show on how awesome this last weekend was. So so much respect to everybody. I know you got a sponsor you want to give respect to.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to give much respect, as we do each and every single week, to TeePublic. Our folks at TeePublic, Christina, our sales rep, all that, they are fantastic. And we want to give them respect because they donated the shirts that we were able to sell at the tailgate on Sunday. So much respect to her. If you want to get a shirt like any of those, if you turn it to your camera there, like this badass DADC shirt that Murph is wearing right there, all you have to do is go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear and click the t-shirt link. It'll take you right to our amazing TeePublic page. Excuse me, I'm burping. Where you can get any where you can get any of those cool shirts like the DADC, our Raiders Fan Radio shirt, a Swag Jeff shirt for Rev Raider right there, anything like that. So thank you guys very, very much at TeePublic. You guys are amazing. And we also want to give respect, speaking of the tailgate, we want to give respect to Acme Feed and Seed. So Acme Feed and Seed was obviously the party central of the whole thing on Sunday. So, hooking up, busting with the boys and us with all those amazing things, just the space, she already had stuff kind of set out ready for us to just jump in and do the show on Sunday morning. We did our podcast, our little pregame thing. And so, so much respect to Emily and Acme Feed and Seed as well.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. So here I got one more soundbite for you, and then we're going to jump into some of this game review. So here you go. So this is pretty cool. So much respect to the boy Will Compton, who he may love us. He may even, I know he likes us. He may even love us, but he just sort of knows our name.
Right.
It's so funny. So Will is on the Fifth Quarter, which is the official Raiders podcast. So hosted by Eddie Pascal. So for those of you that haven't heard this yet, just go to the last episode. It's on the YouTube even too. And Eddie asks Will, this is Will's first appearance, and he's going to do regular appearances on the show now. Like he's going to be a regular on the Raider thing. And so because this is their way of keeping Will as part of the Raiders organization, which is really cool. And so Eddie asks him, did Raider Nation represent at the game?
You were at the game. You were at Nissan Stadium today. And trying to be objective, my friend, did we have a nice little Raiders turnout there? Was it good? Did the nation show up in a big way?
Oh, brother, we had our bus and tailgate at Acme Feed and Seed, and it was a majority. It was about 70% Raider fans, I would say. Yeah, Raiders fans travel deep, bro. And again, it's like Halloween everywhere you go. Like everybody was decked out. The Raider fan cave with Murph and Jeff Swag, like they had their crew there.
What was that?
Everybody
what was that?
Out. the Raider fan cave with Murph and Jeff Swag, like
the Raider fan cave with Murph and Jeff Swag.
Yeah, and thanks to the Boys on the Bus podcast and Compton Will for all of your support constantly. Yeah, thanks so much for that. Yeah, Raiders Fan Radio, and it's Swag, Jeff, and Murph. You big stupid.
Hey,
but thanks for the love.
Much respect, Taylor Lewan. Rest in peace.
What's the other guy's name?
Oh my God.
He was
Compton.
Oh, Will Compton. Right.
Nice.
But yeah, Taylor Lewan, the boy. Rest in peace, King.
Halloween everywhere you go. Like everybody was decked out. The Raider fan cave with Murph and Jeff Swag, like they had their crew there. Like it was awesome. It was really cool to see, and it was awesome like taking photos with fans, like hearing people talk about Playoff Willie and like how just how cool everything is has came about from it, I guess. But yeah, man, you say the once a Raider, always a Raider. Like I definitely feel that sentiment from Raider Nation. But the turnout was really good, bro.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murph, Swaggy Jeff.
Oh, he got it right.
And Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Hey, what's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
All right, so Jeff, we're at the point of the show where we have to talk about the game.
Will you stifle yourself?
I wish we could in this segment.
I would just stifle me.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I'll tell you what. Instead of starting off with me talking, let's start off listening to the great, although underutilized for whatever damn reason, Devonta Adams.
It's like you said, it's not going to be on Devonta Adams to go and save the season or save the game or whatever. It's not going to be on Derek Carr. It's not going to be on. It's on everybody. Everybody got a role. I mean, the game can be won or lost in, special teams, one play at the end of the day, so it's on everybody to think that, it's your job to do your job. And if you do, and everybody has that mindset, I mean, you may call me crazy, but I think that if any team, no matter what team it is in this league, if everybody has it on their mind that their job on every given play, they got to give their all, whether they're play amazing or whatever. If you play as hard as you can on any given play, I think any team in the league will win the game against whoever, if every single person buys into that way. So, especially if you have a lot of talent and you have a really good team on paper like what we do, if everybody buys in and they got the right mindset on every play, and you thinking about as one play seasons every single time you get out there, which is not easy to do, but that's what separates teams in this league, is how disciplined can you be and how many plays can you make over and over and not get tired of doing the right thing, time after time. And that's what we're working towards.
All right. So I do like that idea that there's not one savior, right? That there's not,
Sure.
I think that's a nice sentiment. It's the ultimate team game, and it's a team effort. I think that there are certain positions that have higher levels of accountability because, like quarterback, for instance, is the most important position in all of sports, let alone in football and in the NFL. But I do love that idea that it seems to me that there's at least that. Let me ask this, Jeff. Do you think that's his way of taking heat off of Derek by saying it's all about all of us? Or is that, you know what I mean? Or is he is there another message in there? Because Derek's taken a lot of bullets this week. And while we didn't feel there at the game that everything was directly on Derek, you're going to hear some stuff later on in this show that we didn't see with our fan eyes just being at the game and didn't have the luxury of HD and all that other kind of stuff when you're just watching the thing live. There is a lot about this game that was on Derek. And so Derek's taken some massive heat, especially these last couple days. So do you think... Well, okay, so there you go. So was that his way of, I guess, diffusing that is what my question is.
No, I don't think he's diffusing it at all.
Okay.
I don't think he's diffusing it at all. I think maybe he's using it to kind of motivate some of these other people. Stop sad sacking and sulking after after a stupid play, after a drop, after a this, after a that. You know, I mean, we'll get to. I think one of the calls later on says something about quarterbacks got to fire people up, and when you're sitting on the bench and doing this and kind of mumbling to yourself, then when Swag Jeff had the most energy on that sideline,
no kidding,
there's a problem there. But you know what? And to his point, I think Devonta Adams could be our savior, because when we look at some of those things that happened on Sunday and he didn't get targeted or anything like that, he has the ability to do that, because the dude is just unbelievable. And I hate that his stat line is what it is right now, because it should be double, triple what it is, because this dude is open all the time.
All the damn time. And so, all right, speaking of that, that's a great lead in, Swag Jeff. This is the clip that's running around all the socials and that every Raider fan is talking about. You're going to lack the visual here, obviously, but let's listen to great quarterback analyst, wasn't a stud as a quarterback himself, stepping out of the back of the end zone again.
Doing his Jimmy Garoppolo impression.
Right, and no one was happier about Jimmy doing it than Dan Orlovsky, I promise you that, because it gets him off that hook. But anyways, but he's a great analyst, and he's a great study of the way quarterback is played and like all that stuff and film and all that. So you're gonna lack that, but just listen to what he has to say, I think, is all you need to hear.
That it looks like Derek Carr's purposefully trying not to throw the ball to Devonta Adams.
It feels that way.
Wow. Okay, look at this. This is a deep hook by Devonta Adams, and what you get is cover 2 up top. Now, everything is off the hook defender. If he goes with the wheel route, throw it to Devonta. He went with the real route. Devontae's wide open. That's exactly where the ball should go. Not only it's Devonta Adams, but he doesn't throw it to him. All right, maybe it's only one clip. Down at the bottom, I have a curl flat. Number one defense that this place stinks against is cover 2. That's why you have somebody that sits over the top of the ball. This is cover 2 at the bottom of the screen. That play at the bottom is dead. Devonta is not only the guy you want to throw to, but that's the person, because of what the defense is, that you should throw the ball to. Now down in the red zone, Devontae's going to run a quick fade versus inside leverage 2-man. Cut the split because I got space on purpose. The safety really doesn't matter. He wins off the line of scrimmage. I watched Aaron Rodgers throw that ball to Devonta 1,000 times against San Francisco last year. But he's not even looking over there on 3rd and 8 down in the red zone. He cut the split for a reason. That's only 3 clips because it's television. There's like 6 of them where the defense tells you, because of what the scheme is on offense.
Not the guy. The defense.
Let's pretend they're X's and O's. They don't have any reputation or name. The ball should go there because the defense, that's the worst play I can have given what my scheme is defensively. The ball should go there. And it's Devonta Adams, and he's not even looking.
Dude, look, we can rant and rave and, and I put up a Twitter post of that play that hits Darren Waller square in the hands, ball bounces up in the air. Kevin Byard picks it off, runs it out of the end zone. I mean, that was clearly on Darren Waller, and Darren Waller had a bad day. Not going to pile on Darren Waller, but he had a bad day. And in fact, respect Darren Waller for raising $600,000 last night at his foundation dinner. So this is not that post was not an attack at Darren Waller. But I got a lot of heat from some of that by people saying, well, where's that same energy to our quarterback? Well, if you listen to the show and don't just follow us on the freaking socials, you'll hear plenty of heat going at Derek too. So the heat goes at Darren Waller for that game in a big way. Heat goes on Josh McDaniels in a big way. Heat goes on the freaking inability to convert a turnover that gets you to the freaking Titans 31-yard line and results in a punt. Like, there's plenty of heat to go out there. So this isn't just a Derek thing or a Waller thing. But for what Orlovsky has to say right there, that ain't a fan opinion. That's inside baseball. That's somebody who studies the freaking position of quarterback for a goddamn living and has been doing it his whole life and says, look, if you take the names away, did you guys hear that? If you take the names away and you just make it about X's and O's, this X needs to go to that X on this play. Like, or O to O because it's off, whatever the hell it is. You guys know what I mean. Unbelievable. Like, I don't know if we've ever heard a stronger indictment of lack of ability to Derek Carr's play than that freaking clip right there. 9 years into this thing.
Yeah, I got a couple things on that. So last week we played a clip from Stephen A. Smith, who was calling out Derek. And here this is. Same kind of stuff. What's the common denominator here? He's slipping. And I don't know why. I don't understand it. All these years, and I'm only 3-4 years into this thing, but I've heard all the excuses as well. Well, he doesn't have this. Well, it's this. Well, that. All these things. There ain't no more excuses anymore. There's just really, you can't say anything else because, yes, Josh McDaniels is calling subpar games. It's not good. His game plan's going in, his play calling during the game, it's not good. But he did call for Devonta Adams to streak down there and be wide open. And if Derek he forgot how to read defense?
Well, see, and that's what I wonder is that, okay, is it, and this is what I asked. So I remember in the preseason, I asked a question. I think it was on Silver and Black today. Some of the screens and things that we used to see out of the Todd Downing offense, and I can't believe we lost a freaking Todd Downing. But some of those plays that would be tackles for losses or would be just ineffective plays. We saw Amir Abdullah run those plays effectively in the preseason. And I thought, okay, it's a fair question. Have we just not ever had the execution? Was the play calling actually not that bad? And was the execution poor? Dude, maybe McDaniels isn't calling that bad of a game. Maybe our execution is just shit because that's what I just heard.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with that. Yes, we all got super fired up in the preseason. Okay, well then put all these other guys in. Where's Tyron Johnson?
Where's Zamir White?
Where's Zamir
Didn't
White?
We draft him for a reason?
Where's DJ Turner? All these guys that balled out for us in the preseason. Okay, well, if this group ain't going to get it done, then do something different, and maybe that's a good opportunity like what we said earlier in the show. Maybe let Derek Carr sit on the bench for a half of football and just think about what he's doing because you watch him on the field and you watch these, we were watching it on the Jumbotron and stuff like that, the big overhead shots and stuff like that. He's squared in on a guy and he did that last year too and was still successful, but we didn't have a guy like Devonta Adams, yes, he was hitting Zay Jones all the damn time, but
because he was the first guy in the building and the last guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They share a sleeping bag together, but, he rolled him over and woke him up in the morning. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And hey, and that's cool, man. That's cool. 4-7. That's great. Y'all do your thing. But but
wait a minute. There could be alternate meanings to 4-7 there.
Is it? Oh, okay. All right. Whatever. Tyrone Wheatley. Was that one? Oh, jeez. Easy with that shit. Okay. Anyway, but anyway, my point is you watch that game, especially on Sunday, and you watch it. He looks at the guy the whole time. He doesn't survey the field the way he needs to. He's not going to one progression and going down the line like you see all these other elite quarterbacks do. He's looking at Mac Hollins for 6 seconds before the ball hits his hand. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And then you got, how many times in Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers' career did you see Devonta Adams get hit in the corner of the end zone and, for touchdowns all the time?
That's what that play was. It was that corner route that he said, we've seen Aaron throw that ball 1,000,000 times.
Yes.
Why isn't that thing going up there? And you would think that especially after the first game when Derek went to Devonta constantly and the criticism was, well, he was forcing it. And that if he was spreading the ball around a little bit more, then the offense would have been better off and we might have won that game. Well, then now we've gone so far the other direction and it's just this is such Raider shit. It's it doesn't make any goddamn sense, Ron in there says we love numbers. That was pretty funny. All right. So now let's go the other side of the ball. All right. It ain't much hotter over there on the defensive side. And look, man, we've got this new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. The 2020 Giants team had a top 10 defense in terms of points allowed and a few other categories. They were number 12 in terms of yards allowed. They were a pretty good defense. Then they had a crap offense. They had the worst offense in all of football, and so that's why they weren't a good team. Then the Giants regressed last year. I also went and looked at his first year as a defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. Jeff, for the Miami Dolphins in 2019, Patrick Graham's defense, 32nd ranked in points allowed, which means they were the worst, okay, in terms of points allowed. They allowed 494 points in 16 games. They were 30th in yards allowed, okay? They were 30th in first downs allowed. They were 26th in passing yards. They were 32nd, dead ass last in touchdowns, passing touchdowns allowed. They were 30th in rushing, 27th in rushing yards allowed, 21st in touchdowns allowed, rushing the ball. Not a good defense, okay? Patrick Graham he's 1 for 3 right now in terms of successful seasons as a defensive coordinator. We were very excited about the idea of this hybrid defense he was going to bring, playing the matchups. You guys have heard all the rhetoric, yada, yada, yada. The bottom line is that it's not working. And we've got some studs on this team. And if other than Nate Hobbs and Max Crosby, ain't none of them playing like it. No. I mean, who was it that got the interception? Was it Deron Harmon? That got that? Yeah, that was got that interception. That was a great play from Deron Harmon. But anyways, Patrick Graham is clearly
didn't we get Patrick Graham? I mean, one of the reasons we got him was because of his red zone defense. Didn't we say dude's got great red zone defense?
That was the thing about that Giants team.
Look at all these, points that we gave up in the red zone, stuff like that. We can't stop it. We can't stop it. Well, all you got to do is look at this week, Titans scoring on the first 3 drives of the game, and then you look at the Arizona game where we giving up 2-point conversions and all that kind of stuff. It's the same shit, just a different coach.
Absolutely, I could not agree more. And so I've got some comments from him on the milk carton of also known as Chandler Jones.
Holy cow!
This is. I don't know. I'm going to play this for you guys. You listen to it, and then we'll give you our take on it.
Everybody's looking for the statistics and stuff like that. The impact, 1, off the field. 2, the attention they bring that allows other people to play more freely. Again, it's a long season, and I know this. Chandler works hard, and we'll see how. Again, I know the only thing Chandler's worried about, just knowing him for a long time, is about wins. So, regardless of what the production was or what it could have been, Chandler cares about winning. Just like the people here in this building, we care about winning. So that's the number one thing. And once we start winning, that's what we'll be happy there.
All right, I get that winning is the most important thing, and not someone's personal stats. But when neither of them exist, it's a problem. So what is going to facilitate wins? Sacks, Chandler Jones, pressures. We can't have zeros, Patrick Graham. I don't think that's an excusable thing. You can't say, well, all Chandler cares about is winning. Well, guess what? We're not doing that either.
Winning what? What is he concerned? What is his favorite thing to do? Winning. Winning what? Winning a game? How about you win a freaking play?
Oh, you know what I mean? Let's go.
How about
Jeff?
You win a snap, dude? Because you ain't done it at all. Nothing. Nada.
I mean, dude, how many times did we see Cleve Farrell running in again? And you and me and Ty were sitting there, we're going like, why is Farrell running in there every first down? Like, what? Like, I get that you want your closer, Chandler Jones, to have that third down pressure and all that, and you're going to rotate snaps on it. But like Ty made a great point. Like, didn't we bring in Jones because he was good against the run too? As Derrick Henry is gouging us. And I know he's King Henry, and I'm not saying that he's some chump. He's, arguably the best running back in football and a hell of a lot of, a big-ass man to bring to the ground. So I know he's really, really good. But, why? That's the stuff that does – now we're not taking it. You're telling me that Cleve Farrell's a better matchup than Chandler Jones? And if he is, then – what the F are we paying that dude so much goddamn money for? Then maybe he shouldn't have been. Then maybe that's a trash-ass signing by Dave Ziegler. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. That one didn't feel good. This Patrick Graham comment did not feel good. I mean, none of this stuff feels good because we suck and we're losing, but that one didn't feel so hot. So I don't know. I'm not so sure about that one, and I'm really curious to see how that defense bounces back. Because look, here's the thing, Raider Nation. as much as the adversity we had last year, the bottom line, and kudos to Derek and his leadership and other members of the team for their leadership and for facing adversity and bringing this thing back, although I think now we're finding a lot of that as Rich Bisaccia. What we did last year is to take nothing away from what the leaders on the team and the offense did. But there's a reason that we won those 4 games, and it's because we had a top 10 defense in those final 4 games. To me, the end. So if we don't have a decent defense, it doesn't matter what the hell else we do. Guess what? We're not the 06 Saints. This ain't Drew Brees and Marquez Colston. We're not going to score freaking 40 a game. So we got to have a badass defense. And Patrick Graham so far, not getting it done. So you're taking arrows too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to see how this defense is going to bounce back because so far they don't know how to bounce back. It's just more of the same kind of stuff. But we're about to see what it's because we're about to play the worst team that we've played all year, Ebony Graves. You know what I mean? Like the let's ride stuff. We're about to take them on a ride. But offensively, I think. But defensively, we got. I mean, we got it.
Russell lights us up,
if
dude.
Russell Wilson because he ain't lit anything up at all this year. All he's been doing is doing his corny ass shit that he always does, and hasn't produced anything. What they won 11-10 or some stupid.
Yeah, because Jimmy Garoppolo stepped out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, there you go. So so if we can't easy, hey, we need to get him in the backfield. But yeah, we've got to shut him down. We've got to shut him down.
You're listening to The Violator, and I'm live on Raider Fan Radio. Where you at, baby?
Hey Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
So Paul in the chat says Arizona was supposed to be shit. The Titans were supposed to be shit. What about Denver? I don't even know if I've ever seen Paul cuss in the chat. He's fired up, man. I love it.
He watched that Michelle episode and he's felt inspired.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of that, Michelle Sweat in there in the chat says, watching Ngakoue sack Mahomes made me physically sick. I'm with you. Like that, and that's the thing is that like we were all talking about like, oh, Chandler Jones is one of the greatest pass rushers ever, or we're currently or whatever. And we got rid of Yannick for this. Like Yannick and Max played great together. Like Yannick, Yannick, I always say it wrong. Balled out against, remember like the Eagles game last year? Like, I mean.
Yeah, very good.
Gosh, what are we doing? All right. Anyway, so let's move on from that. I will give you one last thing. I'll give you some here's something encouraging to take away out of the Chandler Jones discussion before we get into some of the media comments this week. Most sacks for a player versus a quarterback since the year 2000. All right. Cameron Jordan has 23 sacks versus Matt Ryan. Next on the list, Chandler Jones has 16.5 sacks versus Russell Wilson. So most sacks for a player versus a QB since then. So this would be a great week to get that first Raiders sack and to climb up that list and to chase down that all-time record there, or at least that the record since 2000 and take over that number 1 spot of Cameron Jordan, because that's significant, man. 16.5 sacks against one guy. So you know what? I'll say this. If he doesn't go nuts this week, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, Patrick Graham, then for real, 4 weeks in.
Yeah, we'll be calling for this guy.
What are we
F
doing?
to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't furl.
Absolutely, it's not. All right, let's go to let's hit to some of these media comments. So we're going to go to the KJM podcast, which is Keyshawn Johnson, let's see, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman. And so they are talking about this idea of Derek potentially moving on. And this is curious because I just made this comment when I did this selfie last week on Thursday. I made the comment about how even if it's not a pure indictment of Derek Carr's ability, maybe just new scenery is a good thing for him. Maybe just a fresh start for the Raiders at quarterback will be good for the organization. Interesting, too, we know Ziegler was in Tennessee for the Tennessee Volunteers and Florida Gator game because we know the we know the boy Will Compton.
No, it's Will the Boy.
Will the Boy. Oh yeah, Will the Boy. We know Will the Boy talked to Ziegler, and so it's curious, like, what would Ziegler be there? Who would he be there to scout? Because your GM doesn't go scout college teams unless you're going to take them high.
Well, the rumors swirling about Hooker.
Come on,
Hooker.
Come on, like,
he's 24 years old. He's a little bit older, but dude can move. He's good.
Can move. He's got a monster freaking arm.
GBO.
Let's, you know what I mean? So like, and hey, and maybe even that's not is at 24 years old, is he worth a second rounder? We've got all these other lower round picks.
He won't go first round being 24 years old.
There you go.
Just won't
so
happen.
there you go. So I mean, like, I just thought that was interesting. So anyways,
we'll take him 36 overall in the second round.
Dude.
Just like what we did in 2014.
Yikes. But anyway, so it's interesting that the idea of Derek and the Raiders getting a fresh start. Again, we're not advocating this. This isn't me saying that, like, this is what the Raiders should do. No, I want Derek to be the best quarterback in the NFL. I want Derek to be MVP. So I'm not advocating for the Raiders to move on or for him to move on. I would rather see him hoist a Lombardi trophy wearing silver and black.
Let's go.
I would rather see that.
Let's
so
go.
Know that, Raider fan, as you're listening to this. This isn't us pushing for it. It's just us asking the question, and I think it's a fair one to ask.
Maybe a change of scenery for whatever reason will help his career out if he gets to the right place in the right system with the right team, because that Raider mystique thing that hovers over that organization, he's a part of. And it makes it seem like he's not a good quarterback, and that's not true at all.
Do you think, I hate to ask, but do you think he's one of those Parcells observations, nothing good ever happens for that guy? Because as you just pointed out, you hit a target in the hands. That's not on you.
That's not on him.
Is nothing good ever happen for this guy?
Yeah, well, you point to something that's a little bit true when you look at it. He is on his way to becoming an MVP potentially. He breaks his leg, right? He at the end of the year that year they go to Houston to play the Texans. He's not on the team. He's on IR. He's done. But all the way up until that point, he leads them to the playoffs. He snaps his leg. He misses the games. He doesn't get the numbers, so therefore he won't get the votes. You look at the situation that he had to go through. How long ago? A year ago. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's been forever, but a year ago. He's got to take the team and put it on his back and be the guy who stands up because of the midst of the Henry Ruggs situation, the midst of his embarrassed coach in John Gruden. He's got to deal with all of those sort of things.
Kept the team together as not a losing team. Yep.
But nothing good happened out of the situation. They lose in the playoffs under Rich Bisaccia when they get there. It's just like nothing good happens. That's why I say maybe he's one of those guys that if you are the Seattle Seahawks, for instance,
the Colts,
a year from now, I don't want the Colts to do it. The Colts got to go young. They got to go young. They just got to draft. They got to draft a guy and just call it a day.
So is it only Derek Carr? No way. Because like I'm watching Raiders games, thinking a lot about Rich Bisaccia. Now I'm wondering, the team felt like they played differently for him. Now I don't know if it was a byproduct of everything that happened with Gruden, and obviously him taking over the reins and then wanting to back him and make him the head coach. But it just like I don't know where Chandler Jones is. Like, where's Chandler Jones on defense? I know Max Crosby. I know he's there. Like, even Josh Jacobs, he's in a contract year, and they haven't been able to get the run game going. So everything falls on the shoulders of Derek Carr, and I think that's what makes it difficult.
Bad line, bad secondary, right? That's killing them.
But sometimes in the National Football League, and even in basketball, and I'm sure you could attest to this, Jay, is that owners in management, the leaders of organizations, they get it wrong because you got the guy right there, and then all of a sudden you just, for whatever reason, you decide that you're going to listen to somebody at one of these damn owner meetings and make a decision. Oh, yeah, I really want to hire that guy. It's like, well, wait a minute, man. You got Rich Bisaccia right here.
Team responded to him.
You have to look at the situation, the circumstances that one was in when he helped your team get to a different level.
All right, I say it all the time. I'm a fan of the Raiders that are, not the Raiders that aren't. So I'm not going to lament this scenario, but I will say this: that was a very clutch point that Jay Williams made right there that I hadn't considered before. That owners do get caught up in what the next shiny new thing is, and maybe maybe Mike Mayock and Rich Bisaccia weren't all that bad of a setup, considering the way that the team responded to them. Again, I'm not advocating for it, and I'm not advocating for Derek's departure, but maybe we didn't have it all that bad, and this big, reboot that we've gone through, because it's not a total, rebuild, but it's a little bit of a reboot. I think there's probably got to be more to come. It's got to be. I can't see a scenario where it doesn't. I will say this before we get on here, because we got one more soundbite to get to with Rich Gannon before we get out of this segment, and I want to hear from you, Jeff. I'm still not convinced. All that said, I'm still not convinced this thing is over. And when we were walking out of Nissan Stadium, we did a little bit of a live there on YouTube, and we said, by Wednesday we'll be fine. And I remember Kevin the Raider Nerd distinctly in the chat afterwards said, I'm not going to be fine. I'm not going to be okay on Wednesday. And I hear that loud and clear. And I don't think I'm just hunky-dory over here as a Raider fan on the field. In terms of the field, as a fan, I feel great. Better than I ever have. But like in terms of what the team is actually doing. But here's what I think, Jeff. We got the freaking Broncos coming into town. It's a very winnable game. We're not going to lose every game this year. We should beat the damn Broncos. We should beat them. That gives confidence. We go into Kansas City. Yes, the last 3 games were ones that we needed to have in the books. We needed to have those wins for this season, but they ain't gone now. So we got the Broncos and we got Kansas City. Nobody's undefeated in our division. The Chargers are sitting at 1-2. If we go 2-3 after beating the Broncos and then Casey in their crib going into the bye week, Raider fan, I'm optimistic as hell coming out of that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm not ready to throw it out yet. It's 0-3. It's a 17-game season. 0-3 is the new 0-2 because there's an extra game in there now. So I'm not fully convinced that this is a done-ass deal yet. So let's look for the Raiders to kick ass against the Broncos. Let's beat the damn Chiefs once in a while. That'd be great. And then go into the bye week and actually have optimism for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, well, I do want to touch on a point that you said before.
Sure, please.
With Bisaccia and Mayock, as much as we rooted for those guys and stuff like that, going into that offseason after the craziness that we had, yes, the team rallied together, and yes, they did a lot of really good things. But, going into the offseason, if you're Mark Davis and you see a guy like Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler show up and, they're looking for maybe a new spot, doing something different, who's not taking them?
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean?
That's a fair point.
Who's not taking those guys? Because, yes, Rich Bisaccia is a great leader of men, and he's a great, morale guy and all that stuff, and all the players absolutely love him. But, it's kind of like Derek Carr, loving Zay Jones. That's great and fine and wonderful, but hey, there's Tay. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
It's that shiny new piece, and so yes, it's shiny and all that, but it's good and it has a good track record. Maybe not as a head coach, but overall success. Josh McDaniels was the guy. I mean, all these other teams,
sure,
we're here in Middle Tennessee. When they fired Mike Mularkey here in Tennessee from the Titans head coach, everyone looked at Josh McDaniels. Oh, he's the guy. He's the guy. We got to get him. The offensive mind, the Super Bowl rings, the Lombardis, all that stuff. He's, he coached up the GOAT, all that kind of stuff, So, I mean, yes, that's, of course you're going to look at that guy. But to your other point, I mean, I don't think in any way it's over either. Play devil's advocate. Say we go 0-5 at the bye.
Oh, it's over as shit. Is that?
It's over.
It's ball game at that point.
Yeah, we ain't gonna win.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna rattle off 12 straight after that. But I like, as someone in the chat said, honestly, with the talk about with Carr, because I'm with you. I'll be rocking the 4 all year long. He's my guy. He's my quarterback. And win or lose, he's just my quarterback. Because he is QB1 for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's my guy. But I think that Mark Davis would probably be more likely to keep Josh McDaniels than Derek Carr.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with that too.
So, so with the...
And Mark, we talked about this, and I think it was a little overblown by some local media members about this conversation that happened between Josh and Mark Davis after the game and whatever. But I will say this, don't let the haircut fool you. Mark Davis is his father's son. he don't do embarrassment well. There's a reason that Riverboat Jack is no longer the head coach of the then Oakland Raiders and now Las Vegas Raiders, is because they got punked against the freaking Chargers at the end of the season, and the body language and all that stuff, but not only by him, but Crabtree and all those guys, there's a reason they were all gone and let go. And that's because Mark Davis has got his father's gangster in him. Like, don't let him fool you. So if you're right, if he's got his new shiny, we've seen him do it he'll invest in a front office position and he was going to let Gruden coach his team for 10 years. Like, Gruden wasn't going to go anywhere. Josh McDaniels ain't going anywhere. Anybody that's talking about like, oh, they're going to fire him and he's going to go all Al Davis and fire his head coach. That's not where, no. That is the difference in the loyalty between Mark Davis and what his dad would haul off and fire a coach in the middle of the season. Mark's not going to do that, but he will say, hey, go get this guy. Hey, go get that. He will do that.
Hey, Dave, go to Tennessee and watch Herndon Hooker, number 5 right there.
Amen.
For the Vols.
Amen.
For
That's
sure.
what's going on. Absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. So speaking of quarterbacks of the Raiders, let's check in one last audio bite here before we get into the Sea of Fans. We got a massive Sea of Fans, so we got to get going on this. But let's check in with your NFL MVP, the other awesome number 12 for the Raiders. He is Rich Gannon as he checks in on the state of the Raiders.
Well, what's going on with my Las Vegas Raiders? And what I'm seeing now is some of the same things that I saw in the preseason. I think offensively, you have to start with the issues they have up front. They are not playing well along the offensive line. Carr is a quarterback that needs a good, firm pocket. The running game with Josh Jacobs and the rest of the backs, another group that hasn't provided a lot of production and consistency. You look at the Raiders through the first 3 weeks of the season, they had opportunities offensively. Had a chance against the Chargers week 1. Second week of the season against the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't show up in the second half. And then defensively, they gave up 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions in the final 10 minutes of the game. And even yesterday against the Tennessee Titans, they had an opportunity late to convert a 2-point play to tie that game. They weren't able to get it done. But again, offensively, offensive line issues continue to be a problem. Defensively, the same issues we saw last year from this group. Their inability to get pressure on the quarterback. Just 2 sacks so far this season through 3 games. That's why they went out and got Chandler Jones, and he's not making enough plays. And then the other issue they're having defensively, they were one of the worst teams in football in 2021 at creating negative plays. The takeaways. And again, that's an issue with this football team. They're just not getting their hands on enough footballs. And that's a huge problem. And it will be an issue if they can't get it fixed this weekend at home against the Denver Broncos.
All right, that's a great take there by Rich, and absolutely, and I love it how he leaned onto the defense there because I definitely think it needs to happen, and it's got to happen. Look, if we are going to win a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, that's what we got to do. Foxy Scorpio in the chat room says, get real, Murph. DC ain't winning in KC, and winning in an empty Arrowhead doesn't effing count. Look, I'm not saying they are going to win, Foxy Scorpio. Don't misread what I'm saying. There's nothing about the team right now that makes me feel confident that we can go march in Arrowhead and win and drive the bus around the stadium. I don't think that's going to happen either. But what I am saying is that it hadn't happened yet. That game hasn't been played, and we haven't lost it yet. So I am saying if there's a world where we do win that game and we beat the Broncos and we're 2-3 heading into the bye week after doing that, that's going to cause a sense of optimism. So don't misread that, man. I'm not like sitting here like going like, yeah, we're going to go do it. No, but I hope they do. And you should too, Foxy Scorpio. If you're a Raider fan, you should hope we go in there and beat their ass. Let's go, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you see a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that that are going, just tank this season,
That's the
man.
Stupidest freaking thing ever.
I'm not with that, man. If it happens, it happens, but hopefully not because we're not. I'm sure as hell ain't gonna root for that. I want us to win the next, 14 games. So
hey man, like the people, like even like cousin Sonny, like cousin Sonny's my cousin. I love him to death. He's like a brother to me. But like he's like, oh, I just want the Derek Carr to just play bad. That way we can just finally move on from him. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that roots for movies of franchises that I like for them to fail so they could hire new directors. No, I'm not rooting for presidents to fail so our country can struggle so that we can elect somebody else. It's stupid. It's self-defeating. I want those that represent those entities and institutions that we are fans of or members of or whatever. I want them to do well. Like, stop that. Stop that self-defeating mentality, man. You know, I'm not going to root for somebody in my family to fail so that they can whatever. Like, no, I want them to be healthy. I want the organization and those people to have success. Like, what a concept. Let's lift people up. So, like, look, again, this is not excusing or apologizing for any of those players. And Rich Gannon, I thought, did an amazing job right there of saying that, like, you know, look, there's all these areas of accountability. I want Patrick Graham to be the best defensive coordinator in football. I want him to be so goddamn good that every team that needs a head coach next year and afterwards wants to hire him. That's what I want. But right now he sucks ass. So, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean we're going to root for his failure. Why would you ever do that? I don't get it, Jeff.
I mean,
gosh dang it. Say something and then take us to see your fans.
I mean, you said it all, man. You know? For anyone to root for any aspect of this team to fail is just absurd. It's just absurd. Why would you do that? Then you're not a real fan. Sorry. I'll say that. You're not a real fan then. You fake-ass fan? Come on. Seriously. If you're not rooting for your team every single game, then what the hell are you doing?
Then what are you doing?
Then what are you doing? That's so damn stupid.
Go watch stickball or something.
Yeah.
He is fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied. He throws. It is. He caught it.
I appreciate everybody. Hey, shout out the chat room, Smart Jeff.
Oh my gosh, everyone's in there and donations are flying in.
Please shout those out,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, I'll try to scroll back up. I know Daniel Menges has donated another $10. A Charger fan, Danny Fan, donated $1. So we greatly appreciate that. Ebony Graves threw in another couple $10.
I'm going to give him an extra $9 so he get a poker chip next time we give something away.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, we'd love to send him something Raider related for sure. But yeah, so Edgar V's in there, Fargo Raider, Michelle Sweat, Matthew Menges, Tider Raider, Franklin at 83. My wife's in there, Tyrone Graves, Jonathan Wade, Vibrators in there, Miss Ebony.
Hey Val.
Yeah, Miss Valerie. Ebony's in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider's in there. Mojo's in there. OG Fade's in there. Lencho, Schmucky the Raider Bear. Holy crap, we got some Raider Nomads in there. Paul is in there. 85 Raider Nation's in there. We got the whole crew, dude.
Oh, that's awesome, man. We appreciate you all so very, very much. All right, so here's where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. And you can contact our show a multitude of ways. You can jump in with the amazing chat room at youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio. You can call the show at 909-345-3346, where we have 18 voicemails. So we got to really get to it here. And then you can also email the show at show@RaidersFanRadio.com.
How inventive.
It's a really inventive email address.
Yeah, I really like
show.
that.
Can we spell it?
Well, yeah, would you?
Show, that's S-H. Let's go to ASMR. SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com.
RaidersFanRadio.com. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I got some emails.
Hey, can you read one?
Yes, I would love to read it.
That's borderline way too creepy.
Yeah,
okay,
It was one of those things. You know how like the comedy where like it's funny and then it gets weird and then it's funny again.
Andy Kaufman.
It never got funny again.
It never.
We were both sitting in it and couldn't stop it, and it was just ew, gross.
Yeah, I felt yucky. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good.
Ron the Mater says email@email.com.
Love it, absolutely. So hello, RFR family. This team is starting to piss me off. 3 very winnable games, 1 in the bag, and yet the Raiders have gone from Super Bowl contenders to a clown. Al Davis is rolling in his grave right now with the direction of this team. McDaniels is a joke and a fraud head coach. He can't scheme up an offensive plan for the red zone if my life depended on it. Oh, if Matthew Menges' life depended on it, Josh McDaniels couldn't do it. Yeah, absolutely. But there are some positives from this game. The defense pitched a second-half shutout after giving 24 points in the first half. The Titans did nothing in the second half, so we could start to see the defense that might be able to bail out Derek Carr if he gets his head out of his ass. That's it. There's nothing else I can say except if we lose to the Broncos at home, then the Chiefs expect McDaniels to be fired at the bye week. You heard it here first. One more loss and McDaniels is sent to the guillotine. Yours truly, Matthew Mangus, one pissed off Raider fan. P.S. Prayers to everyone in Florida sheltering from Hurricane Ivan.
Absolutely. Good stuff there, Matthew. Appreciate you. Mojo in the chat. That's freaking that's top rope right there. That's good
we
stuff.
call that a callback.
Yeah, we love a good callback. Esteban in there, which I believe is in Costa Rica. He says this team makes me drink. Amen. Made all of us. I think we all wiped out our livers this weekend. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
All right, I got one next. Let's go to T-Hom. He says Murph, Mosh, Swaggy, J Nation. I could have only wished that the intensity on the field by our beloved Raiders had matched the intensity of the RFR crew that showed up big at Nissan Stadium, bore the heat, and then witnessed the shit show. Big money players make big money plays. I've heard that over and over again the last couple of days, and it's time to finally come to fruition. Devonta and Darren have both made big plays, but they've left a lot on the field when it counted most. Derek needs to keep throwing the ball, and they need to both earn their keep. And Carr is playing okay, but it's time for him to raise his game as well, recognize the coverages, have the stones to check out a plays, and put the ball where it needs to be. Let's see. I suggest the coaching staff replace the Gatorade bottles with baby bottles. Remind the entire team about how much it sucks to be the only 0-3 team in the league. Hey, shout out that first-round pick. And then go on Sunday to do something about it. Reminder the defenders that when they grab the bottle for a drink, they need to wrap it up and try not to arm tackle it. 5 sacks, 2 picks on defense, 5 touchdown drives, turn this thing around, and then we can bring back the Gatorade bottles. And if you're asking me if I give up, I will use the words of my immortal character Marv from Home Alone by saying, never. Hang in there, nation. We'll be back. Tion.
Nice. Yo, what's up, Murph, Swaggy, and the one and only Uncle Mosh? I hope all is well and everyone is safe and in good health. There are 3 things that's guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and the Raiders stressing me out. I was hoping Bobby Boucher would come out at halftime and help us win. So far, the Raiders have failed to show up when it counts, but Raider Nation always shows up and shows out. Even though the Raiders lost, when I look back at this weekend, the game will be the last thing I remember. Spending time with the RFR family was a reminder of what Raider Nation is all about. Michelle, Lamont, Ebony and Tyrone Graves, Raider Ramon, Houston Raider Steve, Fabricator Gil, Jeff and Mike Murphy, Uncle Mosh, Swaggy, Murph, Capo, and many of the others who I had the pleasure of meeting and spending time with. Trinidad and I had the same flight back home, so I got to talk to him and his wife for a while. I added a new sandwich to my Domenico's list thanks to Michelle and got to meet the boy Will Compton and UFC fighter Michael Chandler. If I tried to explain everything, this email would be 3 pages long, so I will end it at this. Thank you, Murph, Swaggy, and Uncle Mosh for your southern hospitality. Who would have thought that looking for a Raider podcast would bring this California kid to the middle of Tennessee? Just a reminder to all those who need to be reminded. You can do anything, but never go against the family. Until next time, RFR family, all love and respect, Ty the Raider.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing. That was my favorite email so far.
Dude,
Ty's family.
Yeah.
Ty's
we're trying, inside baseball, we're trying to get his ass move out here.
Absolutely. Come on, Ty. All right. It was funny today when I went into Domenico's to grab our food for the show. And Mike Murphy, Jeff's brother, QB Jeff's brother was there. And he goes, hey, I saw Anthony. And I'm like, Anthony? And I go, oh, Ty the Raider. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, I always just think of him as Ty. And we all call him Ty.
Absolutely.
But his name is Anthony, and no one calls him that. But all right, so we go. Next up, Murph, Raider Fan Radio Crew. Raider Nation, do not panic. It's only 3 losses. Could we have won them? Yes. The fact that as much as we hate to admit it, the team was rebuilt. You have new coaches, coordinators, and team members. Everyone has to learn the new scheme from these coaches and learn how to play and read each other all over again. The scores were not off by much each game, and if it wasn't for those drops by key players and other stupid self-inflicted wounds, to say the least, the outcome would have been different. Time is needed so they can work on it. Most of all, the veterans need to step their effing game up. Great email. Thanks for your time. Raider Gil. P.S. Have you seen Chandler Jones? And that's the other Raider Gil. We got Fabricator Gil and the IE, and then that is Raider Gil.
Yeah, we should start calling Chandler Jones Mike Jones. You know Mike Jones?
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Sorry. Sorry for that.
That was funny.
Salute RFR and salute Nation. Love the show. Keep up the great content. I understand folks and their opinions and that they have their own opinions. However, what the F, man? Why are people saying to replace the coach or DC? We've already undocked from this campaign and voyage. If anything, we need to know how to use what we have for real. After chopping up 3 weeks of football, turnovers and play calling, execution, catching the ball are noticeable issues. The silver lining is if we win the next 2, momentum starts to turn. No pun intended. Murph, what happened? Week 1, we had tickets to the DC turnover show. Mosh, what happened? Week 2, we had tickets to the fumbling, rumbling Renfro show. Swag Jeff, what happened? Week 3, we had tickets to the Hello Collar to Waller Hand show.
Oh.
Yeah, the Renfro cop thing was hilarious, though. His belt weighed more than he did.
Hey, he was a good sport, too, by the way.
He was laughing and cutting
He
up,
was
too.
laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
He loved it. Matt Collins, Josh Jacobs, and Devonta Adams should demand the ball every play. Mismatch every single game. So far, I give the defense grade a C and the offensive grade a D. What's your grades or thoughts? Good thing is, there is more in front of us than behind us. Soon, all the opponents will be shaking when they face this offense and will be punished when trying to make plays against our defense. I repeat the prolific words of Wasted. The Raider Equinox is upon us. Which means by 2025, the Raiders will hoist another Lombardi or 2. Raiders! Silver and Black Mac.
Hey, let's go Silver and Black Mac. Appreciate the email, my friend. Next up, I was in the chat last week is the Rosino. I hope I'm saying that right. But I went to that game, and I'll tell you what I saw. I saw play calling that was too cute and Darren Waller having a bad day. I think that's an excellent summary. The Titans destroyed our defense in the first half and a huge question mark of play calling and decision-making by the coaching staff all game long. That being said, I'm not a McDaniels fan, but for those of you wanting to abandon the system 3 weeks in and calling for the firing of Josh McDaniels, have some patience. I don't think a lot of people remember when we were 0-9 at the beginning of Derek Carr's career. We're not going to be that bad this year, but it's going to take some time before we start looking as explosive as some of these other high-powered teams. McDaniels needs to simplify the offense in his first year and let the talent we have do the talking. And to everyone who's saying they're giving up on the Raiders, stop whining and wait for it to turn around because it will. We don't need that fake fan mentality. There he is, Rosino.
Nice.
Bringing some heat.
I like it. I like it. Greetings, Murph, Uncle Mosh, Swag, Jeff, and the entire RFR family. It's White Stallion Raider checking in once again for another disappointing week of Raiders football. I don't lose hope often, but after another poor performance, I think we can almost officially put this season to bed. As the Raiders now face seemingly unsurmountable odds to make the postseason an 0-3, no jokes in this one, just criticism, as the state of the Raiders is no laughing matter. To be clear, the game was once again lost by the offense, and no, it wasn't our quarterback, as he should have had 5 touchdown passes. Amen. The offense continues to miss opportunities, and unfortunately, Derek Carr can't throw and catch the ball. Easy. Let's face it, Raider Nation. Our offense is consistently mediocre after 3 consecutive and underwhelming performances. Don't get me started on the long ball that would have gone for a score where Waller thought he was Odell Beckham and decided not to put both hands on the ball.
Oh.
Why? We expect a tight end of his caliber to make that catch.
That's it.
Yeah, and we paid him for it. In fact, we should have made the other 2 on the goal line as well. One blunder resulted in a field goal. The other one popped up in the air and was picked off. 18 more points would have won us the game and made it a blowout, but the offense couldn't get it done yet again. I'm tired of watching the same problems year after year. Missed opportunities. I'm seriously worried about this Carr and Adams connection as Devonta looks frustrated on multiple plays each game. I'm not sure if it's frustration in himself, his quarterback, or Coach McDaniels. I'm getting serious 2018 vibes from this team, which, as we remember, was John Gruden's first year back as coach. We expected a lot, and now, because we have a combination of well-seasoned offensive coaches paired with Carr. In both scenarios, we lost our first 3 games. In 2018, barely win our 4th game against the hapless Browns, helmed by Hugh Jackson, with Baker Mayfield making his first career start. Hopefully, Josh McDaniels can win a 4th game like Gruden did, though I'm not holding my breath. It's more frustrating now because we have talent unlike them. Adams, Waller, Jacobs, Renfro, Crosby, Jones, Hobbs, Miller, and Carr are Pro Bowl caliber players. I know that Murph usually says what he says about expectations of the team, but in this case, he's correct. We were a playoff team last year who added an offensive genius who helped New England win multiple Super Bowls, the best receiver in football, and a running mate for our young superstar pass rusher. We should expect this team to perform better than this. Heck, they have too much talent to be this bad, but somehow they haven't won in 3 attempts. I blame the coaching, and evidently so does Mark Davis. After the post-game presser, Davis had a closed-door conversation with our struggling head coach. I think it's a real possibility we clean house before the season's over. If the Raiders don't improve and start winning games, I don't see a scenario in which anyone keeps their job. After all, we currently hold the number 1 selection in next year's draft. Though all the negativity, we must appreciate the slivers of light given to us and savor every win as they come. Hopefully, we can begin this trend by showing cornball Russell Wilson and the Donkeys why the autumn wind is a freaking Raider.
Amen.
To echo the sentiment throughout last week, the fans are the best thing about the Raiders because the culture and camaraderie. The Raider Nation has the best fans in professional sports. To this end, keep up the good work on Raiders Fan Radio as I sign out for this week. From womb to the tomb, the White Stallion Raider.
Hey, White Stallion Raider, man. Nice job, dude.
Yeah, solid.
All right, I've got the last one here. Evening all. Before I get to the painful stuff. Why I took such a pause there. Before I get to the
easy with the stuff. Easy with the stuff.
A huge shout out to the wonderful RFR family. It was great to see you all together in the fan cave last week. I trust the hangovers were many. Then to see Houston Raiders Steve, Corey Fleck, and Trinidad on the pregame video was fantastic. And I hope the Rogue Chiefs idiot that turned up his day up in the river. Oh man, I butchered that line, Paul. Sorry. As ever, Raider Nation is second to none. There's a lot going on with the Raiders, isn't there? Sadly, most of the dysfunctional seems, gosh bless it, I'm crushing this thing. Sadly, most of it seems dysfunctional, and when things are going against you, it's inevitable that small things snowball into bigger issues. The season so far can be a disjointed screw-up. Only a few are playing anywhere near their full capacity, and the coaches are adding to the confusion. If this was down to one thing, it would be easy to fix, but it's a lot of small things making one big shit show. The only thing that's consistent about us at the minute is we're still trash in the red zone. I may have missed something during the preseason, but did anybody on the coaching staff say at any time, please don't build your hopes up this year because it's going to take a year for us to learn each other? Perhaps they should have. It would have saved us from the pain of expectation. That's a great point. That's a great point. They were selling it as like, we done. Like, we're going to go win a championship. Yep. Where's the fight and expansive thinking on Josh McDaniels? Why is Patrick Graham so reactive? He allowed the Titans to bully us in the first half with the soft rubbish that gave them far too much space at the time, and it made Ryan Tannehill look like Aaron Rodgers. Of course, the coaches can't be held accountable for players making glaring mistakes like Darren Waller and Keelan Cole dropping passes. I know they aren't robots and people can make mistakes, but come on, guys. One can be excused, not four. That was when Darren said that, man, he was like, I'm not going to be, held to a perfect standard. I'm going to make mistakes. I respect that comment a lot. But at the same time, bro, like, you're the best freaking tight end in football. Like, you just got paid a lot of money. And it's not about the money, but like that cap space. Like, come on, man.
Well, we paid you for what you were going to do.
What you're going to do.
And so far, you ain't doing it.
Yeah, man. Like, All right. Back to it. Ultimately, though, you have to put the team in the best position to try and win. And apart from the first half against the Cardinals, we haven't done that. A few notes I scribbled down to bear that Sunday out. Throwing the ball 45 times against a team has been shredded by the run for the first 2 weeks. Question mark? Only 19 run plays? Where's the running backs by committee idea gone? 5 running backs and a fullback, and we got nothing. Gosh, Paul, this is on point. The 3 points we allowed at the end of the first half when we had the ball with under a minute to play was completely unavoidable and costly in the end. I don't want to see Devonta Adams and razzle-dazzle plays. How about we just throw the damn ball? 3rd and 18, why a screen pass? What happened to T-Billy? Why not use his pace to stretch the field? I'd rather pay Josh Jacobs at the end of the year than pay Chandler Jones for doing the square root of jack shit. Why ignore Devonta Adams all of a sudden? We've been close to winning the game 3 times so far. And we've said about doing nothing but ignoring the superstar player that could do the job in a heartbeat. Crosby, Jacobs, Hollins, Hobbs, thank you. You're the bright lights in a dark locker room at the minute. When you have a new coaching staff and a new system, you need positivity early. Otherwise, people will lose faith in your project quickly. The results elsewhere in the division mean that we're not cut adrift yet, as strange as it sounds. If we can synchronize everything, someone is going to get a real beating from us. Although right now it's hard to see who and when. I'd give my left nut for it to be on Sunday against the Donkeys. Back on February 10th, during episode number 236, and shortly after Josh McDaniels... Oh my gosh, did Zeke attack something over there?
Easy, Zeke.
Zeke's the dog over there, by the way. Zeke's the 2-year-old Raider Bulldog in here. Or Fresno State Bulldog. No, right now he's just the Raider Bulldog. And them Fresno State Bulldogs ain't doing shit.
He's the only Bulldog a part of this team right now.
Zeke's more active than those other guys.
Yeah.
I mentioned who my preferred choice of head coach would have been when I said if Mark Davis, I'd keep Sean Payton's number on speed dial. I know Coach Payton wanted a year off, and I'm not advocating sacking Coach McDaniels at all. It's far too soon, and league rules stop us anyways. However, I would say that if we're 0-5 at the bye week, it wouldn't surprise me if there's an interim change and a new head coach at the end of the season. Wow.
It's a pretty common theme.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Here I was saying that Mark's not like his old man and doing that, but...
You know, he just got a taste of what a championship tasted like. You know what I mean?
Oh,
his aces took home it all. So, you know, I don't know, man. It's
interesting. That's an interesting scenario.
I love
the
that.
way Paul framed it makes a lot more sense to me.
It does.
Yeah. The question is, how long are we prepared to wait for the current system to work? Is Mark Davis prepared to accept a 4-13 or a 5-12 season? The season is rapidly going downhill, and McDaniels needs to find the handbrake fast. Stay safe, RFR family. Love your Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler Scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time +1 winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Hello.
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who? Paul. Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
All right, appreciate Paul and all.
I love that.
Go.
We could rant on that for a long time because, I think he brings up an interesting point, and Mark Davis, he knows what a championship tastes like now, man. So, we made the playoffs last year. His other team wins in the offseason. So, if
we go 4-13?
Well, if we go 4-13, try if we go 0-5.
It's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know.
One of my favorite things about this email, though, okay? So we joke that Paul is in, I started a long time ago, I made a joke that Paul is in Shropshire, Mississippi, because Paul for real is in Birmingham, England. And so in our country, Birmingham is west of Mississippi. So, and he said where he lives, or he's west of Birmingham, excuse me. Paul is west of Birmingham, and in our country, west of Birmingham is Mississippi. So I said, okay, Shropshire is Mississippi. That was the joke, okay? The Graveses, Tyrone and Ebony, are from Mississippi. So when they were up here on the show on Friday, Tyrone said at one point, he goes, man, Paul had me looking on the map. He goes, I was trying to figure out where Shropshire, Mississippi was. He's like, I've been living here my whole life. I never heard of Shropshire.
You've been looking for him.
You've been looking for him. So that was pretty funny there. Anyway, so much respect to Paul. Appreciate you. And an amazing job as always. All right, let's get to the voicemails. You want to shout out the chat? We got any more donations that came in, Jeff, before we do that?
I don't think so, but Raider Born Rico's in there. Pirate 1975. Paul is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Mojo. Vibrator's in there. Let's see here.
Go, Valerie.
Pineapples.
That's the funniest damn name.
That's the funniest name. Pineapple's in there. Tyrone Graves, 85 Raider Nation. John Ogle's in there. Michelle Sweat's in there. Jay Jackson's in there. Corey Fleck. Ebony Graves. Franklin 83. 510 Pekka
It's a 510, Jeff. Don't act brand new. Damn, dude.
I've never read that damn name before.
510 California represent, man. Let's go.
Is that Lyle Alzado?
Oh my gosh. Dumbass.
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Oh, the whole crew's in there, man. Tider Raider's in there. What's up, dude? Raider Gill's in there.
What's up, Raider Gill? Appreciate you all very, very much. All right, let's get
You
to
shout out the chat next time.
Oh, man. Okay. Ain't nobody to 408 in there. Anybody 408? That's San Jose. That's where I'm from. Okay, so let's go to the voicemails. We've got 150 of these, so we'll probably be here for the next hour and a half.
Good.
But we're going to go ahead and hit them all anyways, and we appreciate you, Raider Nation, so very, very much. And so, okay, so if you call the show 3 times and you get your message played, or if we read your email an indefinite amount of times, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman. And so we've got a couple that are getting real close to having some new made men and made women. And so the leader of that crew, because every crew needs a captain, is Aaron the Q-Dog. I almost had that whole thing. He is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We call him the Capo, and he always starts off this segment.
Greetings, Don Merkin, Sig Larry Moss, on the boss, Sonny, Sergeant Arms, the Sizzler. Big Raider Trucker, congratulations to you, homie. Mojo for When the Universe Speaks. All hail Queen Libby. Ramon the Mean Queen, good to meet your wife. Swag Jeff, Chris. Wild Raider, Chuck Spiderhead McCann for the Inebriation. Ron the Raider Nation. Is the sky falling yet? The rudderless Las Vegas Raiders are 0-3. The teams that have beaten us, they've gone 0-6 in the games outside of our contest against them, averaging a mere 16.2 points. Head coach Josh McDaniels reiterated that the Las Vegas Raiders must learn how to win. Now, considering the team made the playoffs last year, I'm scratching my head on that one. This is far from encouraging. Neither the fact that McDaniels is 1-10 in his past 11 NFL head coach games, and it's been, 4,333 days since Josh McDaniels has won an NFL game as a head coach. Apparently, the Raiders owner Mark Davis, he too is not pleased. Following the contest this past Sunday that I attended with the RFR family, the Raiders lost 24-22 to basically make an otherwise great trip, suck out loud. Davis met with him behind closed doors. I don't know how that meeting must have went, but I think it came on good sourcing that it probably wasn't to discuss where to eat, maybe P.F. Chang's whenever they touched back down after the long flight back to Las Vegas. Now, McDaniels has to be feeling the pressure to surpass the 0 in the win column. I mean, he's on pace to end up like former Raider coach Dennis Allen, who's running the Saints for some reason, after going 0-4 back in 2014. McDaniels' team can possibly make up ground over the next 4 weeks. Now let's look at this for a second. Las Vegas faces Denver at home, Kansas City on the road, has a bye week 6, and then hosts Houston. Now, Russell Wilson and the Broncos offense has struggled. You've heard this on the media outlets. Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs offense, lost to a winless Colts team this past weekend itself. And things may not be all that great back in the land of gravy between Bieniemy, my pro-fighting frat brother, and Patrick Mahomes, the fraud. But there's no need to go into that. The Raiders can get back in the mix if they win back-to-back divisional wins and have a victory over the rebuilding Texans. No one expected the Raiders would struggle on offense. Supposedly, McDaniel's strength having been an OC for the vaunted New England Pats. The Raiders appear to have no direction on offense. Las Vegas remains unbalanced, passing the ball 71% of the time. That's a little bit too much whenever you have talented running backs on the roster. All-pro wide receiver, all-world, Devonta Adams, DA-17, has only 48 receiving yards over the past 2 weeks. There really aren't any obvious answers as to how the Raiders are going to turn this around, according to Vic Taylor of The Athletic. Now, he went on to say, you might even say that the team at 0-3 and the patchwork offensive line has overachieved to this point. McDaniels, who had an 11-17 record as the Broncos head coach from 2009 to 2010, must prove that he can be an NFL coach. Sunday's game is the biggest of his early Raiders career. Per the New York Times, the team has only a 16% chance of making the postseason. Now, if the Raiders mess around and they lose this particular weekend, they all but have no chance of making the playoffs. Surely, with chances evaporating like a fart in the wind at 0-4, it just spells doom for McDaniels. Now, he had the audacity to say that the team, once again, had to learn how to win. But honestly, it seems like Josh McDaniel is the only person who needs to learn how to win. Now, all 3 Raiders losses have been by 6 points or less. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow must get their heads out of their collective asses and earn their money. I mean, like, right now. DC4 is not a leader. You've been hearing me say that forever and ever, but he better start impersonating one. We watched Tom Brady after the loss in Nissan Stadium on the screen overlooking the river, the place of the crime, and I'm looking at this cat going up against the Packers, and one of his young receivers fumbled a ball. Brady's always in this guy's face, telling him that he's going to come back to him, pick his head up. We need to reengage and get back in the fight. I saw none of that out of DC4 whenever he was sitting down, muttering just whatever the hell he was to himself, while the defense was out there trying to keep his punk ass in the game. We need to work on that, because if we can have the aged one inspiring young players, going to different position groups, telling them that we're going to get back in the fight, I mean, that's what we need as far as leadership's concerned. Because you look at DC4 physically, I mean, even the throws he makes, they're better than what TB12 brings to the table. Why can't we get the leadership? Physically, DC4 is a better player. However, when it comes to leadership and what pumps in your chest, there is no comparison. Hence, 2-1 being far better than 0-3 at any age. The Raiders Fan Radio family and nation as a whole, we showed the Music City this past weekend what it is to have a worldwide fan base. Now, we may have lost the game, but there was no doubt the Raider fan was in the city limits. And I'll just be honest with you. The Titans fans are unbearably corny. Their stadium chants are right from the movie 300. Question. If Chandler Jones can't sack opposing quarterbacks, where in the hell is Malcolm Kuntz? Silver linings. Respect to Dead Scrolls Steve, the historian. Finally got a chance to meet him at Bowie's rock bar, rock and roll band bar. Not my genre, don't know, I'm messing it up. But I met historian Steve at Bowie's. It was awesome, better than expected. And they tell you not to meet your heroes. Meeting this guy, he was a totally uplifting individual. All respect goes to him. I hope he has a song for the nation this evening. But it's back to the Death Star against Ebony Gray's vaunted donkeys. Ebony, you got your toes all over the line, baby girl. Go ahead and cross it. Get rid of all your blue and orange gear and fully commit to the nation.
Let's go.
It's the last time I'm going to ask you. Tyrone, work on it, baby. Now, respect goes to the Raiderettes the Raiderettes at For Life, Our Raider Story podcast on YouTube. Met those young ladies at Bowie's too. Much respect to them. Frequent, like, subscribe. Now, the hit list. Guard, Alex Bars. Guard, Jordan Meredith. Defensive back, J.R. Reed. Safety, Matthias Farley. Brett Favre, Herschel Walker, Jackson Mahomes, Roger Goodell, Daniel Snyder, Jim Rome, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, and Insurrectionists. Let's ride, fools. Rue.
All right, there he is, there in the Q-Dog Raider. We call him the Capo. Great call. That's why he's the Capo, man.
Yep.
We always kicks off this segment. We appreciate you, Aaron. And, this Raider hang that we had this weekend isn't the same without Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, man. That was amazing, as always. What'd you think about Alex Bars being on the hit list there, Jeff?
Well, inside baseball, so we're standing in line getting hot dogs and beer, and we run into Alex Bars' dad and his whole family.
His whole family
was there, man. Yeah, and he goes, "Hey, let me give you my phone number. We'll get you connected or whatever." So if he's on the hit list, maybe we'll call him and get him on Raiders Fan Radio, so he'll get cut.
Because our track record is not good. If you've been a player interviewed on this show, you've either not been brought back, which actually will eventually got brought back by the Raiders, but you've either not been brought back.
But he was the first one in the fan cave, and so he got cut twice.
No shit. Yeah, so we had EJ Manuel. I don't know, whatever. I'll save you the list. But, oh, no, Trent Sig. Trent Sig broke the curse.
Oh.
Shout out Trent Sig. Shout out 47.
Wow. Okay.
Much respect, the best long snapper in the league. Okay. He was on the show, and he's still on the team, and so he broke the curse.
Well, we'll get the curse back with Alex Bars.
With Alex Bars. All right. Let's get to these rest of these calls. We've got 150 of them. Let's kick it off with a guy we don't hear from a ton, but whenever we do, we always love to hear from him.
Hey, before I'm so sorry. Before you jump into this,
no, this is way more important.
Yeah. So Fabricator Gil had donated $50 to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you, Fabricator Gil.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got your autographed Devonta jersey too, by the way, Gil.
Yeah, you got a couple days to let us know, or else it's going to be hung in the fan cave. Pyramid 1975 with a $5 donation, and then Allison Tuckwab says if Devonta Adams don't want to be here, then it seems like he doesn't. I could be wrong, but the Packers can buy out Devonta Adams' contract and get him back and bring his family back to Green Bay to go play with Aaron Rodgers and retire as a Packer.
Wow.
Yeah, strong words.
Whoa, interesting.
Strong words there for sure, but even stronger, a $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Thank you so much.
That is Allison. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fabricator Gil in the IE. We appreciate you, brother, so very, very much. That's an incredibly kind donation. And Allison, what an incredibly kind donation there. We appreciate you and thank you very much. Please, Gil, I've got your address, but Allison, will you please send us show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Send us your shirt sizes. Let's send you a couple of t-shirts, not just one. Let's send you a couple. Gil and I got you two already. I got to send you your jersey anyways. I'll throw a shirt in there with you. But Allison, that is incredibly kind. Thank you so very much.
And then Scott Gil Branson in Silver and Black today has also donated $20 to the One Nation Foundation as well. Since you guys do so good, thanks for all the work you do. It's inspiring and we appreciate you.
Oh, right on,
Thank
Scott.
you very much,
Thank
Scott.
you, brother. That's very, very kind. Thank you. So for those of you that don't know, we have a foundation. We call it the One Nation Foundation. It is our nonprofit that we started when we realized that we could raise money with this little show that we do. And so 100% of the money that you give us, we give to the foundation. And this year, or this next upcoming donation we're going to do is going to the Bolitnikovs, and which their foundation fosters a place called Tracy's Place of Hope and the Bolitnikov Center of Hope, named after Fred Bolitnikov's daughter Tracy, who was taken from us way too soon. And what it does is it enables rehabilitation for young women who are at risk of substance abuse and domestic violence. It's a wonderful, wonderful facility, and that's one of many Raider charities that we give to throughout the course of the year. But here, as we close in on this year, that's who we're going to give it to. And we looked to start off this year with an $8,000 goal, and we both feel like we're going to rocket past that. We're not going to tell you how far because we're just going to announce it and celebrate Raider Nation when we finally do that here in December when we present that check to the Bolitnikovs. So just know that these massive donations that you give us, and any donation, even if the dollar from the Charger fan, we appreciate that because that's going to go to our end of the year contribution to the Bolitnikovs. So thank you very, very much for that. All right, let's jump into these calls. Let's hear from our buddy. Last time we saw this guy, Jeff, he was having a little bit of a rough time out on Las Vegas Boulevard post our freaking watch party. Let's check in with Stacy, Rev Raider.
All right. This is Stacy, Rev Raider. So let's just trade Derek Carr. Is that the statement? Is that the settlement? Okay, fine. Let's say we trade him for a 4th, 5th round draft pick, whatever. That makes Devonta Adams automatically Randy Moss 2.0. Are you fucking kidding me? No, he came here because of Derek Carr. So yeah, he has probably the lowest winning percentage of anybody's ever played 100 games. Fine. Cool. He had how many comeback wins? It would have been a lot worse if he wasn't the quarterback. Trust me. We had a lot of... Let's act like we had some years with some horrible quarterbacks playing. Are you kidding me? Derek Carr's not the problem. The team's the problem. And actually, this whole offense is kind of a problem. Maybe that Derek Carr has a quarterback, yes sir, coach kind of quarterback. Tom Brady wasn't. Tom Brady saw that, hey, the play goes to X. He goes to X. X isn't open. He goes to Y. Derek Carr, X, throw the fucking ball to X. That's what he's going to do every fucking time. Yes, coach, here you go, coach. Well, maybe he'll... Yes, I'm trying to fight the whole thing off, but Jesus, we can't get rid of Derek fucking Carr. We just got to figure this fucking problem out. Act like you're a Raider fan, people. Seriously. Shit happens. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh! There
Wow.
you go, Stacy Rev Raider.
Okay, absolutely. I don't know if I've ever heard a call that had two totally contradicting points of view in one call, where he's defending Derek Carr implicitly, and then he just obliterates him in the second half of the call. That's incredible.
Oh my gosh! All right,
on. Respect to Jameson as well for making that call possible.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We appreciate you, Stacy Rev Raider. And you know what? Hey, one Stacy Rev Raider call is never enough.
Sorry, kids. That last message from you was brought to you by not Jameson anymore.
Oh.
Angels Envy. Because
Angels
Jameson
Envy
just put you in a detox. Angels Envy costs a little bit more. Drink smarter, not harder. Go Raiders.
Drink smarter, not harder.
Wow. Does he work for Angels Envy?
Yeah.
He's a brand
one
rep.
way or the other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Drink smarter, not harder might be my favorite thing ever,
my
dude. That's
gosh.
hilarious. All right. All right. Next up, let's check. Oh, by the way, if Stacy Rev Raider there doesn't set the tone for the rest of this show, I don't know what will, because I had all the work to do bleeping out all your guys' stuff. And we say shit. We say a few other things. But like when you're dropping GDs and F-bombs and all that kind of stuff, we're going to cut that stuff out. And so, yeah, I was busy on the freaking buttons this week. So funny.
Hey, Raider Nation. Well, this is Storm, just coming right after that Raiders-Titans game. And I got to say, well, of course, season's over. And so I think now is a great time to start writing scripts, start really going back, watching film of 1963 to about, 1985? That's all we ever really need to watch anymore for the Raiders. This is in its past. Its present is abysmal. Its future is grim. So, let's just take it all back. Why watch the rest of the season? It's over. 0-3. It's over. We'll be lucky going 1-4 into the bye. And you know what? It's not Derek Carr's fault today. But say whatever you want about, the Derek Carr era. We failed him. He didn't get the chance he deserved. He sucked. Whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter, because it's all just going to be about the perception of what happened. What happened is failure. We're not making the playoffs at 0-3. And if that's the case, why keep Derek Carr? And that's not me trying to, trash him. He's still a fine quarterback, but 9 years, one playoff appearance, who cares, right? We say we failed him, say he sucks, it doesn't matter. That's all perception, that's all candy coating. The end result is no playoffs, and that's what we're going with right now. What a great letdown for the nation, by the way, too. All this hype, all these expectations, and they suck. They make it interesting at the end, I'll give them that. But 0-3 is 0-3. It is what it is. It's a hurdle almost insurmountable. Go Raider Nation at this point. The Raiders are disgusting. Let's just take it back to 1963 through 1985. I hope they polish up those 3 Lombardi trophies, because that's all we only will, that's the only, at least what it feels like we'll ever see again, Go Raiders, I guess.
Much respect.
Lencho in the chat says right after the game are the best calls. Absolutely. That's where you hear the
I'm
passion.
sure most of these are.
And most of these are, absolutely. So these are great. So appreciate you, Storm. I know Storm is in the chat there as well. All right, let's check in next with a new caller to the show. This is Lucid Raider.
What's up, Raider Nation? This is Lucid Raider, calling out of California, man, Northern California. First-time caller. I've been a long-time listener as well. Man, this is some bullshit. Man, I want to say it straight out. I'm just going to, out the gate, man, I feel like I've been saying this for a year now. This is the curse of Vegas, because, look at everything that has happened since we moved to Vegas. It's just been a catastrophe of stuff. But time we get rid of Josh McDoofus, time we get rid of the lemon Carr that we got. That guy's just been a lemon for us. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all this shit. I'm just tired of it, man. That the interception to Waller there when number 45, our fullback, was wide open. I don't understand it. There's no sense of urgency in this team. It's just all bad, man. Our season's over. Another losing season. I'm an A's fan as well. Another losing season.
God.
I'm a Sharks fan. Another losing season. The shit just gets worse and worse and worse. Anyways, man, there's nothing to look forward to. But next year. Anyway, thanks for the show, man. You're doing a fabulous job. And I'm out, man. Peace.
All right, there is Lucid Raider. What
There
a great
he
first
is.
call, man.
I love it. Call a couple more times, man. You become a made man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Call us back, Lucid Raider, man. That was an awesome, awesome job. All right, next up, let's check in with our buddy William. Probably Chico represent here up there in the 530 and see what he's got to say.
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, today was tough. This is William from 530. I'm out here representing still. We all are going to keep representing. As much as we say we're done and all this stuff, we all need to take a deep breath, woo-saw a little bit. And like Murph said, we should feel relieved of expectations. I don't know what to say, man. This team is just, I didn't see the heart. I didn't see the fire. I didn't see that team that we saw last year. I saw some guys out there that are great players, but I didn't see a cohesive team. I didn't see guys out there willing to grit it out and put their last drop of blood into getting that point. I saw guys out there just playing football. But like I said, let go of the expectations. We know what the season is at this point. We know what this team is at this point. I hear it's a good QB draft coming up. I know nobody wants to hear that or jump into that subject, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I'll be put in the casket wearing my silver and black all day. All we got is each other, and we need to pick each other up, dust each other off, and let's get rolling to the next week. No matter how much you say you're done, or I'm done, or I'm finished with this team, no, you're not.
Come
Quit
on.
lying.
Yep.
Come on.
You'll be back next week, hoping for that win, thinking maybe we can hit that streak, get into the playoffs. But at this point, let's all just enjoy watching our team play, having some beers, spending time with our nation family like we should. Pick yourself up, Raider Nation. This is William from NorCal saying, keep your head up. We'll be back.
Raiders! Let's go. Let's go, William. Fantastic call. That was awesome, man. We appreciate you so very, very much. And great job there. And wow, they say you don't make it unless you get haters or porn bots in your chat.
Oh, yeah.
Ron the Raiderette working overtime in there. So he says, how can an 0-3 team have trolls? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, what the heck, man? My gosh, man. So we appreciate you, Ron the Raiderette, definitely clocking in here at the end of the show. All right, let's. This is going to be a fun one. Next up, let's check in with Alex from Dallas.
Excuse me. My name is Alex. Apparently, I'm not a made woman yet. Not yet. But I gotta work.
This is at the tailgate.
I have to call 3 times. I'm new to this show. This is Michelle. Hey, it's Michelle. I'm trying to get another woman made here. Come on now. Michelle's all done up. She has like glitter on her eyelashes. We got Ebony. We're down bad, but we're not done. We are here in Nashville, Tennessee, representing Yeah, I'm from Dallas, so in the house. My name is Alex from Dallas, Texas.
You said that 3 times.
His name's Adrian.
3 times.
He's from East Los California. East LA. Hello, in the house. You guys, you can't be too long or you'll get Google Voice. Bye.
All right.
Thank you, Alex from Dallas.
Alex from Dallas, live from the post-game tailgate.
Where was she from?
Dallas, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, did you know Jerome Bettis is from Detroit?
Was that right?
Yeah, only because they said it 850 times going into that Super Bowl.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that was, yeah. Oh my gosh, these people in the chat. Not these people, but the bots or whatever. going crazy over there. Anyways, Alex from Dallas, appreciate you very, very much. And shout out Alex and much respect to you and your guy, Adrian. Super, super cool. Hung out with us for a little bit there after the game was over. All right, next up, we're going to check in with our almost newly made woman, Swag Jeff. If she calls one more time, she's going to be the new made woman here. And let's check in with our good friend. I don't think she's in the chat room tonight, but look forward to hearing from her once again so she can get made. Let's hear from PSP Raiderette.
I am disbarred. I am so despondent. I am so crushed. This is a horrible way to begin the season. We are supposed to be the kings this season. We're supposed to be the ones that are bringing it shit. We're supposed to be the one that's bringing the AFC to their knees because everybody is doubting us. And you know what? We are actually confirming what they say. The Raiders are at the bottom of the barrel. This is some motherfucking bullshit. I am not happy with this. This is not making the Raider. I'm not happy. Raider, PSP, Raiderette. I don't even feel comfortable wearing my jersey at work because they're just making me so fucking embarrassed.
No, wear that jersey.
Bullshit.
Be proud.
How the fuck you let these fools get down? You let them get a fucking touchdown every single. You know what? Regardless, I am a Raiderette. I am going to be Raider. Win, lose, or tie. So, for those out there that are jumping ship, I'm sure they are. I know they are because I felt like it. But you know what? I'm not jumping ship because you know what? We're coming the back. We have too many weapons that we are not going to come back.
Preach.
We are going to dominate this season. And I already know this just because I have faith in our boys. And because I can't stop believing. I can't stop believing. I want to become one of the Raiderettes that just believes in this shit. I want everybody to follow behind me. I want to be the one that realized that, you know what? We did not fall. We did not lose faith. And you know, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm hoping and praying. You know what? Our Raider Nation spirit is strong. Oh my, our Raider Nation spirit is strong.
Come on.
Just because our team isn't strong doesn't mean our Raider Nation spirit is not strong. Oh my gosh. I see it every day. I have people approach me every day. I wear COVID mask every day. Not because I'm afraid of COVID, just because I want people to know I am supporting Raider Nation.
Let's go. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, PSP Raiderette. Oh, I hate she got Google Voice. Okay, I'm gonna call. So here's the rules around here.
Sure.
If you only got 3 minutes on your call, and if you run up against it to that 3 minutes, then automatically Google Voice gets you, and your call doesn't count towards your call count total. But she's been so awesome, man. She's in our chat all the time. Let's give her some grace.
I'm 100% with you.
Let's give her some grace. That call counts. So one more time, PSP Raiderette, call us back, and you will be the newest made woman here at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, next up, let's check in with our buddy, Josh in the 703.
Hey, fam, it's Josh. I'm calling this time first to apologize. This one might be a lengthy one if Google Voice claims me. I'll call back, finish it off. Also want to give respect to Murph. I know that podcast selfie. I know the voicemail I left wasn't the most appropriate.
Yeah, I had to edit that thing up.
And good job on the editing there, boss.
You're welcome.
Overall, it's weird. I'm actually not as angry at this loss as I was about with the Cardinals. You know, we were on top with the Cardinals, kind of just, like you said, let's put off the gas, and we lost that one. To me, that one hurt more because we had it. This one, not as much. Also, I look at the rest of the division. The division's not even looking that great either, so could be worse. You know, it's just 0-3. You know, still a whole lot of football left to play. the blame game. I'm not going to sit here and play the blame game. Some people can say, well, the defense got to stop, the offense got to put up points. And then someone can come back and say, well, the offense is putting up points, the defense got to stop them. It's a bunch of finger pointing. The team lost. That's all that is. That's all that matters. The team lost. We've seen it where, especially the past couple of years, people want the offense to put up, 45 points because the defense is letting them score 42. Both sides got to play well. Not one side wins the game. It's a team game. They both got to show up, do their job. If one side is suffering a little bit, hey, the other side got to pick it up. Coach, heard that they called him in for a meeting. Probably got his ass chewed, but he's got to deliver. He's the one that helped really put the team together. They didn't want Rich Bisaccia, so they came in, they made a change, and, he's got to step it up. He's got to deliver. He made promises and stuff. A lot of people are doubting him, doubting the choice the Raiders made and picking him up. So he's got to get it out there. He's got to get these guys together. I also want to talk on Waller. This one hurts because it's one, obviously the drop pass everyone saw, the pass deflection, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe y'all know better than me, but it seems Waller, I didn't really see a lot of effort from him this game. He had that one catch that was great, but then that bomb that Carr threw it.
Google Voice.
No.
Well, he said at the top of his call he was going to fight Google Voice on that one.
Bitch ass Google Voice interrupting my therapy. Anyways, what I was saying, Waller, he's just so a little lack of effort to me, and then that bomb by Carr, to me, I think he should have caught that, and that should have been a touchdown right there. Leadership on the team, I think for one, I'm just going to kind of combine this. After last year, I have no question about Derek Carr's leadership. After everything we went through, it's been reported out multiple times. Carr got the guys together. Carr held them through it all. To me, after last year, his leadership is not in question. What the other guys do, the other captains on the team, I think the thing is that everyone has a certain type of leadership that you're looking at. There's different types of leadership. If you're looking for the rah-rah guy, that's not going to be Carr. And if that's what you expect, that's kind of selfish on your part. And it's like me. I don't need him being rah-rah. I'd like to see him get up, walking around, talking to the guys and stuff like that. And that's selfish on my part because that's my leadership. But not everyone's leadership's the same. I think last year he proved that he's the leader, he's the captain of the team. There's no question about that. I know that, people are asked about his command of the offense stuff. I don't know if he's given free will at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure. But just because, let's say Carr knows the playbook, there's still 52 other guys that have to learn the playbook and know where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. So that's not all on Carr. He made some bad mistakes. Some of the throws just there questionable. I don't blame the interception on him. But there's also 52 other guys besides him that got to go out and play and know what they're supposed to do. For a lot of people that are upset about the post-game pressers, all shucks, gee whiz, they blame it on me. Well, that's what a leader does. I was taught as a leader, you accept all the blame and none of the success. My guys do great. It was all on them. If they f*** up, well, hey, that's on me. So that's just me. Real quick, this goes out to the analysts. Not a fan show. This is a fan show. But I'm talking about people that claim to be analysts. Fucking flip-flopping and all this other shit. 1 week, Derek Carr's top 10. This defense is top, 10. And then next week, Derek Carr sucks. The whole team sucks. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. You say you're an analyst, be a fucking analyst. And obviously, I'm running out of time. So, fuck Denver Broncos. And fuck Russell Wilson.
There he is, Josh, in the 703. Oh, my gosh. Great job, Josh, in the 703. All right, next up, let's check in with a good friend of the show. Got a chance to meet him in person when he came out to the Music City Raider Nation party there at Bowie's downtown Nashville. And let's check in with our good buddy, John Ogle.
Hey, RFR, first-time caller, long-time frustrated Raider fan here. I'd like to give my thoughts on this weekend. Let's start off with the bad. Why can we not play an entire game of defense? Last week it was half game in the end. This time it's half game in the beginning. What the hell is going on with our coaching? Where's Chandler Jones? How does he do so little that Cleveland Farrell doesn't even look bad? Why was Henry in the middle of the field constantly open? We did great stopping him on the run on the handoff, but we couldn't figure out how to stop the short passes 4 or 5 yards. He took the first down marker every single time. I blame that completely on the defensive coordinator. 3 easy touchdown catches that we should have had. If it hits your fingertips, I'm sorry, you're making too much money. Catch the damn ball. You would have thought they'd have it figured out by now. Maybe it's Waller. Is Waller a problem? He recently started seeing Kelsey Plum. We know he's got a drug addiction. Some people say sex is a drug. Maybe celibacy is the answer for him. Maybe that would solve his problem. I don't know. It's my thought. Devontae, paying him a lot of money. Why are we not making him the first look? And then 6 running backs on a team. Yet both weeks, 2 in a row, we abandon the run in favor of just going to passing. We don't throw anything to Josh Jacobs or hell, get Amir Abdullah back in there to get the short yardage. Good. All right, I thought it was going to be a slaughter. I was depressed, but towards the end, they brought it back in. They made it interesting. At least it made us worth our while to go see the game. Matt Collins, looks like we do have indeed a number 1 receiver. If they're going to come to Devontae, throw it to Mac all day long. Another good thing, made the trip out to Nashville, first time in the area. Went to Domenico's, amazing sandwich. But the best thing of all this entire weekend was the meetup with RFR. It was fun meeting you guys. Good to put faces to voices, names. Had a lot of fun. Really enjoyed myself. Family did too. Nice talking to you guys. We'll see you again. John Ogle.
Hey, John Ogle, man.
Much respect, dude.
Dude, you know,
I talked to him a ton at Bowie's. He's such a good guy.
Nice dude, man.
Yeah,
super
absolutely.
nice dude. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I love about that call too, Jeff, is that he referenced about how he went to Domenico's, but he wasn't there when we were all there.
Yeah.
We heard from so many people that were like, yeah, we were in town and we looked up Domenico's and we went to Domenico's.
Yep.
And like even John said, I'm like, did you see Murph back there on the county? He's like, yeah, but he's busy, so I don't want to say nothing. I'm like, no, holler at him.
Yeah.
I'm like, you would love to hear from the Raider fans.
And how many people did we hear that they said, Vanucci made the sandwich?
Yeah, my son Vinny.
Vinny.
Yeah, that was really, really cool there. So much respect, John Ogle, man. And I look forward to seeing you at the next event, my friend. All right, let's go up to one of selling the lead here. I don't have favorites. You're all my favorites. It's like a Sophie's Choice around here. You're all the best. But I do always enjoy when this guy calls the show, and he's our buddy, Rev Raider up there in Jersey. Although also, Allison, did she drop another $50 donation in there?
She dropped another 5 in there.
Oh, okay. All right, because I got that $50 donation.
And she's a Packer fan.
Oh, that's why she wants Devontae to leave out and go back. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
but still, hey, I appreciate those donations.
Hey, and whenever
Allison.
you post about the Packers, you have to do a super chat with it. So yeah. Make sure you do that every time.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. All right, appreciate you, Allison. And anyway, so let's go check in with our buddy up there in New Jersey. He is Rev Raider.
What's going on, Murph? Uncle Mosh, Young Swaggo, Rev Raider calling from Jersey. Man, this team, boy, I tell you, they need to act like me and my boys back in the day in high school. We was riding around in a Honda looking for some fine big booty chicks. We all in one accord on the mission. You know what I'm saying? The double entendre to the rap game, people who don't know. But yeah, man, we got to be on the same page because it seems, sometimes it seems we're killing ourselves. Death by 1,000 cuts. You know what I'm saying? You got drive-killing penalties, drop balls, missing open opportunities, not running the ball when it's advantageous to the team. You know, we got to do that. Playing all 4 quarters. You know, can't make business decisions when it comes to tackling Derrick Henry. You got to go up and light that dude up, man. Can't be a punk. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things that we need to do, man. And honestly, it's just simple things. We don't suck like everybody keeps saying. I'm hearing from the fan base. We don't suck. We're right there. It's just the little things that need to be cleaned up, you know. And if we clean that up, I can almost guarantee we're going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? How many missed touchdowns did we have? You know, how many missed red zone opportunities did we have? You know, because of dumb stuff. We just got to be there, you know. And once that happens, man, we'll be able to take that brick from behind the gas pedal and put it in front of it. And then we can let that motherfucker go.
Come on.
And
Let's
that's
go.
what I want. That's what we need as a team. And the fan base, we got to stop being so toxic, man. We even, like, you know, love your team. You know, we can complain and stuff like that, but stop being so negative. I'm sitting here trying to listen to the game. So I was listening to Andy's show on YouTube and stuff riding around, and the comments he was reading was just so negative. I had to turn on the broadcast from Tennessee and listen to that. And they were far more complimentary and in fear of what our team has to offer for being great. We just got to show it. We just got to prove it. We got to do it. On to Denver. Let's go handle it, you know. Let's go ride some donkey ass, man. No homo. But, like, for real, man, we just got to do it. Make it happen. Shit'll get off the pot. That's where I'm at with it. Hey.
All right, there's Rev Raider.
Holy cow.
Wow. Ron the Raider says, big bottom, talk about bum cakes. My girl's got him. Shout out Spinal Tap. Oh man.
gosh.
That was funny, Rev Raider. That was a great call. All right, next up, let's check in with our buddy. Okay, so sometimes our show has been referred to as a dog whistle.
Sure.
If you hear it, you hear it. If you don't, it doesn't connect. And every once in a while, we feature some humor around here that's really a dog whistle. And this is coming from our buddy Kil'jaedus. He's up there in Alaska. He's the northernmost Raider fan. And this is fantastic. I thought this was really funny. So give it a minute and check in as he describes watching the Raiders in the wild.
Welcome back to the Sanctuary of Egypt Animals. Today, we check up on a group where idiocy rules with an iron fist. Here we see the Las Vegas Raiders in their habitat. Due to the poor judgment and leadership of their pack, they are starving themselves. The recent hunts have all been for naught. There in the meadows we see the defensive line. The mighty Max Crosby, the alpha male of the group, has only come away with a few sacks. It is not enough to satisfy the bellies of the defense. Nearby we see the wily defensive backs that are maimed in the last unsuccessful hunt, but have come away with an interception. However, it will not be enough for only a week, because there's a great need for more. The coordinator seems to be lazing about and not willing to step up the aggressiveness for the group. This demoralizes the defense, who only want to devour players, get turnovers, and claim 3 and outs. However, there's an absence within the group. Our team has been searching for weeks for Chandler Jones, but he has completely went missing. We can only hope that he will return and help them on the next hunt. Over by the waterhole, we see the offensive line. They are among the most complacent, as they have been lazy in their efforts. Many other teams have stolen from the pack's quarry. Very soon, there could be banishment from the pack, but the offensive line seems to pay no heed, as they lay in the sun doing the most minimum of tasks that require the least amount of effort. In the shade lies a starving running back corps. Neglected by the leaders of the pack, they wince as starvation makes them weaker. They seek to have more rushing yards, but the leaders forbid them. All the while they look at the fat wide receiver corps, stuffing their bellies full with yards and touchdowns. They eat and pay the running backs no mind. One of the running backs, Josh Jacobs, approaches the wide receivers to eat the quarry. This alarms the leader of the pack, Josh McDaniels. He cuts him off and intimidates Jacobs back to his group. Following close behind is Derek Carr, the quarterback and alpha of the offense. He follows McDaniels wherever he goes, and follows every order. Due to the neglect, the Raiders are starving for their first win. Well within a hard season, it is questionable if the Raiders will survive. Such is the sight of this group of bums in the sanctuary of Egypt animals.
Would you guys stop this? Honestly, it's only week 3. And you know what? They're gonna be fine. They're gonna turn it around. So now shut up and just bring on the Broncos.
Oh my gosh. He's Kil'jaedus.
Oh my gosh.
Bro.
He was doing that voice so long he almost couldn't get the Macho Man out.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Sonny says it's like hours of work into this call.
No
You are
kidding.
And Ron the Mater says Sir Kil'jaedus Attenborough. Oh my gosh, dude, that was so funny. Oh, great job, Kil'jaedus, man. We love you, man, and keep those damn things coming. That was epic, dude. All right, that's like we're footnoting that one for Fanny material there, man. That was amazing. Chat room is loving it too. Keep them coming. All right, we've got a few more to get to. A few more, meaning like 6 before we get out of here for the night. So let's check in next with our buddy Mojo in San Diego.
What's up, fellas? This is Mojo here in San Diego, proud made man. I said I wasn't going to call in this week. I didn't want to add to the negativity, but, I'm sitting here in the parking lot of the Applebee's. I got myself a belly full of riblets and Coors Light.
Hell yeah.
I felt compelled to give you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
you guys a
Mojo's
little
my
shout.
spirit animal.
And, I got to admit, Sundays and even Mondays, your boy here, man, I get a little emotional when it comes to the Raiders' losses, right? I do, man. I mean, it really starts weighing on me. And I know, I'm sure that there's so many people out there listening to this that can commiserate with me. You guys feel the exact same way. We get a little emotional on Sundays, get a little emotional, and you got to come down off that, high rush of emotions on Monday. But here it is Tuesday, like I said, belly full of riblets and Coors Light. And, man, I just can't get over it, man. 10 years of the DC experience, I'm going to say I'm ready to try something else out. And then I don't care if Josh McDaniels wins the next 5 games in a row, man. The dude's an ass clown. Born loser. It just is what it is, boys. We deserve better. Raider Nation for life. Just win, baby.
Oh my gosh, there's our good buddy Mojo out there. We missed you this weekend, Mojo.
Dude,
I know you've heard us
seriously.
say that 100 times, but we missed you and Miss Libby, and glad to know that she's on the mend, and can't wait to see you all, hopefully in December, out there in Vegas. But yeah, great stuff there from Mojo. But yeah, a belly full of riblets and Coors Light, Swago. That's
perfect.
That's our language right there. All right, next up, let's see. Okay. This is a freaking murderer's row of callers around here.
No
We have
kidding.
all of our best callers, and everyone is bringing it. This is amazing tonight. So this guy, you hear him on the show frequently during the football season. You know him, you love him. I'll just tell you this: if you've got candles, light them. If you've got aromatherapy, spark it up. If you've got lights, turn them off. Let's go ahead and bring it down, and let's appreciate not only the passion it takes, but the dulcet tones of Raider-born Rico.
Hey guys, Raider-born Rico here. So the main reason why we are facing over and over, year after year, this upsetting situation, and I told you before, it is because we don't have an identity. Till we ain't going to find it, we will never get anywhere. No matter the big names you had or the best coaches you had. See, we used to be badasses of football. We cheat, we play hard, we fight hard, we smack you down, and we win. Other teams were scared to facing us. That's what the logo and shield we're wearing it is all about. So you have to be able to replicate this identity, or you can change the logo and the colors too. Put some rainbows and unicorns if you're not able to do that, all right? Now, at the same time, it is impossible to do it, to replicate that kind of football, because the game changed completely over the decades. Can't hit the guy, you got to hug and kiss the quarterback, or you get 15 yards penalty. It's not the football I used to like, but hey, it is what it is. Past doesn't matter, Future never come. Let's face the present. So that's what it is now. So if you can't replicate that because of the circumstances, you got to adapt to the current game, bringing the attitude that used to fit you and that fit you now. For example, what made us great every time we were competitive was the outstanding defense. And I can see true Raider style players in our defense, like Matt Crosby. Nate Hobb is going in that direction too. Max is fundamental for get back to the franchise we used to be, and we can't afford to lose him. So we got to get surrounded by these kind of players. Now, one of the biggest changes the game faced during the decades is the role of the quarterback. That changed so much. Now, the quarterback doesn't just have a strong arm, but legs too. The ability to escape, to improvise. Escape from a stuck situation. You want a legendary West Coast Raider offense into today's age? Well, you must have a mobile quarterback, or you can kiss your ass goodbye. And we don't have one. We don't have a mobile quarterback. And I'd rather lose the quarterback than change the game coaching staff. And not willing to lose proper Raiders players like Max Crosby over DC. You get the message? Not in a fucking lifetime. And DC, wake the fuck up, man. You still got time to go to the Super Bowl this year, or you out with a kick in your ass. So with all that said, cheers to all of you, nation. We still are the best fans ever. I love you all, and I'm out.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
so
cow.
Good, Rico. So good. And hey, for Rico, when you hear us giggling in the background, we're not giggling at you. We're giggling at the damn chat.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, the chat room, is there any better audience for a caller than during Rico's calls?
Oh my gosh.
It's
the chat is just insanity whenever and it's getting better and better and better.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you. And I always say this too, like, you know, Rico, he's got that those dulcet tones and that suave presence and all that, but his takes are freaking passionate.
They're money, yeah.
And on fire. That dude is such a legit Raider fan. And of course, Italian-born Raider Rico, Raider-born Raider Rico. And he's living out there in the Canary Islands, and we appreciate him so very, very much. All right. So I think Ty the Raider in the chat room said this is like a stacked fight card for the callers. I'm telling you, and it's only going to keep getting better. We've got 4 more to get to before we get out of here for the night. So we made for whatever, I don't even remember the context, but for whatever reason, Andy Rooney got referenced on last week's show. Do you even know who Andy Rooney is, Swag Jeff?
Yeah.
Who is he?
I mean, I know who he is.
Yeah.
He's got big eyebrows.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, well, Andy Rooney, apparently.
He's a comedian, right?
No, he's a journalist.
Oh, a journalist. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, but he's been long past and was as a really, really like prominent like reporter. Okay. All right. So anyways, well, he returned from the grave just to call Raiders Fan Radio.
And now, Andy Rooney has a few thoughts on NFL jersey etiquette. A lot of people aren't wearing the jerseys of their local NFL teams these days. But NFL apparel has become a $3 billion annual business, and certainly included in that is the sale of licensed team jerseys. One of the most popular is the New England Patriot Tom Brady jersey. Now, I don't know many people outside of New England who are true Tom fans, but it's easy to wear a jersey of a guy who has won so many championships. We can all dream, right? Dallas sells its jerseys and still touts itself as America's team. Well, I would just like to point out that America, as we know it, has been in trouble for years. The Bills fans proclaim that they are part of the Bills Mafia. Does that mean that if you're a fan and you don't wear the team jersey, that you'll end up at the base of Niagara Falls chained to a concrete slab? The Buccaneers changed their team colors so they wouldn't look like someone pulled them out of a creamsicle box. And what's with the neon green jerseys of the Seattle Seahawks? It makes my eyes hurt just to look at them. Every year, teams come out with different colored jerseys, all in an effort to get the fans to buy more merchandise. But if you follow certain players, you'll probably end up needing to buy 2 or 3 more jerseys anyway. But what do you do with the old ones? Well, I can tell you, there are a lot of Phillip Rivers and Christian Okoye jerseys walking around. Okay, maybe not a lot, but I can guarantee that they are worn by people who either aren't fans of the team or don't even know who these guys are, or were anyway. And what about people who show up at stadiums wearing the jersey of a team that isn't even playing? Usually, it's either Pittsburgh Steelers Wanderers or an occasional pop-up of a Los Angeles Chargers or LA Rams jersey. Funny that you see those particular jerseys everywhere except in LA. Now, when you invest in a jersey, the darker the better. If you buy a white one, you're at the mercy of your own clumsiness as well as of those around you. But I gotta tell you, investing in a classic white Raiders jersey with silver numbers is always a good thing.
Come on.
NFL jerseys come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Some are cheap knockoffs, and some are exquisitely crafted. The Raiders have never really changed their uniforms over these many years. They've never really needed to. The next time you go out, see how many NFL jerseys you spot. See how many are the same, and compare them to what team won the Super Bowl over the past 3 years. If you see a Kansas City jersey, just know you're probably not looking at a true fan, only a bandwagoner. If you see a Broncos jersey, feel free to point and laugh, but it should probably make you feel sorry deep inside. And if you see a Chargers jersey, take a picture of it, because it's a rarity. The photo may be worth something someday, but not the jersey.
Oh my gosh, there he is, Andy, the legendary Andy Rooney.
Wow, thank you for the call.
So for those of you that are of a particular season in life, Andy used to always close out 60 minutes.
Sure.
So there was the 60 minutes, and I always remembered because it was like when Pat Summerall was calling the CBS games, he would say, if you're on the West Coast, it'd be 60 minutes coming up. So anyways, so appreciate Andy Rooney calling.
Was that
show.
Sergeant Joe Rooney?
Yes. One and the same. Yes,
oh, okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah. All right, next up, let's check in with our good friend, Houston Raider Steve. Got to meet Houston Raider Steve this week. He might have been the one, look, and we know, and all of you we love, but like, that was one of those guys. He's been part of this show. I was telling him when we met him and Aaron and Ron, like, and if I'm leaving anybody out, shame on me, but like, you talk about the OGs of the OGs that were around this show when Sonny and I started it back at the end of 2016. Like, Houston Raider Steve was on with us super early and never met him. So it was really, really cool to finally meet him.
Yeah,
and so
I was almost starstruck when I met him.
Right?
You know what I mean?
And the nicest, sweetest man you've ever met in your whole life.
It was a privilege and an honor to buy that guy a couple rounds of beer.
Amen. Yeah. Absolutely. So let's check in with our good friend. We call him the Houstorian. He is down there in Houston, and he is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph, Marsh, Swag Jeff, Nation, come and listen to my story of a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinsfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his fans.
It's the epilogue.
I would like to thank you folks for kindly talking in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of the hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Sit a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. You hear? Hey, I just wanted to say it was great meeting you all in Nashville. That's the real reason why we're Raider fans. And it's great to see everybody. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
That's the Raiders Steve.
Holy cow.
Oh, I love it. The chat room is like, this is the definition of commitment. Like,
no kidding.
He just sang the Beverly Hillbillies theme song.
It's his favorite song
nice
or
to meet
something.
you.
Hey, yeah, good to see you. Goodbye. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
right
man,
on.
He's the best. Houston Raider Steve. All right, we got two more to get to. So this is one of the guys that sat in and if I let me shout these folks out. So when we were here in the fan cave party, Jeff and I stood back, Mosh stood back, and we had y'all do Raiders fan radio. So it was Michelle Sweat, of course, kind of ran it, and it was, of course, and then Capo.
Yes.
And then Ebony and Tyrone Graves.
Yes.
There was Jimmy Zebach, right? Michelle's husband, Lamont, sat in for a minute.
Yes.
Not, like I said, not counting Yumi or Mosh. And then there's one guy left, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And it's Raider Ramon, and we appreciate Raider Ramon calling in the show this week. Yeah, it's the meme king if you need him.
What's going on, Raider Nation? This is Ramon. Well, after that game, I wanted to start off with some positivity because I know not many people are going to have any after this. But I'm absolutely positive. Whatever hard spark this team had this year or last year was gone. This team's spirit is broken like Mosh's chair. Swag called it from mid-game, how there was no fire on that sideline. You could see it on the field.
Let me pause this real quick. If you're looking at the wide shot there on the yeah, there you go. Oh wait, here we go. Let me go to Jeff's camera there. There it is. Mosh chair officially got broken during
no one can get beat for sitting in that anymore because Ramon sat in it for the last time.
The very, very last time, though. Yeah, so we broke. So there you go in the wide shot there. There's no chair over there behind Uncle Mosh's desk because that thing, R.I.P. Taylor Lewan and R.I.P. Mosh's chair.
They're playing like they went undefeated in preseason, and that's all that mattered. This game, although, was not on DC. Even if there's a bunch of reads they could have made, probably have a different outcome, they came out flat and went home flat, and will probably come out flat again in Denver. The real positivity of this call is in the trip itself. It was great to see everybody. Ta-da, Tyrone, Ebony, Michelle, Erie Raider. Always great to see Capo, Mosh, QB Jeff, Murph, and the great Swagnificent. You guys ever have a chance to get out to Murphsboro, not Murfreesboro, Murphsboro, and go to the fan cave, go. Domenico's was as advertised, was fire, and was great. A great trip minus the bullshit that the team put out on the field. With 0-3 behind us and 0-4 looming in front of us, it's on a Broncos week, and I'm positive, absolutely positive, that if we don't get that spark back, we will find a way to this up also. Raider Nation, let's go.
Let's go, Ramon. Nice job.
That's my dude, man.
Nice job. So the chat room is asking a lot about Mosh's chair. First, I appreciate you, Ramon, for calling in. Appreciate you this weekend and your lovely wife, Holly, who we got a chance to meet.
Yeah.
That was great. So Paul and a lot of other folks are like, "What if Mosh is going to be pissed?" Does Mosh know? We've got a great picture. If you check in on our socials, there's a picture of Mosh with his hands around Ramon's throat. It's freaking hilarious. And Mosh took it in stride and cracked up, and so it's just a big shtick. But we had a great time with it. So a lot of fun. All right,
yes.
One more. And much respect to this guy because earlier he was freaking, the real MVP, Ron the Maid Raider, taking care of all these bots and goofiness that we had going on in the chat earlier. So we call him the Maid Raider because he is not only a made man, not only an old school guy, but he is the one that's the moderator of our chat, and we appreciate him very, very much and look forward to meeting him soon one day in person. And let's check in with our good friend, Ron the Maid Raider.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Ron. Sure I'm going to be, throwing me on the sad sack pile this week, but I think
hey, join a club.
The main fear I have is that we hired Norv McDaniels, and I hope that's not the case. I think it's very evident from watching the last few weeks that no one is comfortable. Carr's not comfortable yet in this offense. McDaniels isn't comfortable calling a game. And I don't know why, but everybody feels really tight and, kind of just going through the motions at this point. This is what the offense should be. This is what the play should be. That has to go back on McDaniels. And 1A, him and Carr 1 and 1A, that goes on them. So, Carr's complaining about practice habits. He's got to step up with McDaniels and the other leaders on that team. You have a C on your chest. You should be doing something about.
Let's go.
You're going to complain about practice habits. Do something about it. But I think McDaniels is just, abandons the run way too early. It's working. Slow developing trick plays with a suspect offensive line. It's like he has it on paper. This would be a good play, but not really taking into account the people on the field. You hate to say it, but you hope with time that comfort comes and you establish a happy medium with what works, but we don't have time. We're not a playoff team, so you could already look at next year unless, something happens with the other teams in our division where they get down and we end up getting lucky and winning the division. But as it sits right now, I have no playoff aspirations in my mind at all. And that's tough for a team to pull themselves out of 3 weeks into a season. So I think McDaniels and the leaders of this team really need to get together and get their heads on straight and throw away this last 3 weeks and start over fresh with a good attitude, because if not, we're in for a long season. But we'll be here anyway, cheering for them. And have a good day, everybody. Bye.
There he is. Let's go, Ron.
Let's go, dude.
I love the way he ended it, and we'll be here. We'll be here cheering for him no matter what.
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere. So we appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate everybody. What a great night. Again, murderer's row of callers tonight.
No
Emailers
kidding.
were amazing. And so if you're new to the show, we take the best of the best of the phone calls, the best of the emails, and we award a Sizzler Award, which is basically like the greatest of the night. And so Swag Jeff, you award that, and when Mosh isn't here, who do you got tonight?
Absolutely. So we started off with some amazing emails. Matthew Mangus, T-Hom, Tider Raider, Raider Gill, Silver and Black Mac, Rosino, White Stallion Raider, Paul, of course. Everybody freaking killed it on the emails and stuff like
so
that.
good.
Then
This might have been our best night of Sea of Fans.
Amen.
Not even overselling that. You guys were so awesome tonight.
Totally agree. And then Aaron the Q-Dog Raider kicked us off, of course. Stacy Rough Raider called in a couple times with his love and hate on DC4, and those calls were sponsored by Angels Envy. Storm called in and says the season's over. It's time to start watching old reruns of the 60s through the 80 Raider games. Lucid Raider called as a first-time caller, said this is bullshit. It's a Vegas curse, and it's time to blow up the team. William in the 530 says everyone breathe, but there is no heart. And now it's time to let go of your expectations.
There you go.
Alex from Dallas called live from the tailgate, drunker than a bicycle. The first time call, she is from Dallas, and her name was Alex. We got that. It was crystal
She's
clear.
the one from Dallas.
Yeah. What was her name?
Alex?
I think it was Alex.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So PSP Raiderette called. It's her second call one more time, and you
Come
will
on,
become,
PSP Raiderette.
become a made woman. She's tired of the bottom of the barrel shit, but she's always going to be a Raiderette. And don't lose faith, everybody.
Keep wearing that jersey.
Absolutely. Don't be ashamed of that thing. Don't be ashamed of that thing at all. So Josh in the 703 called a couple times. He said he's not as angry this week, and he's not into the blame game, but everyone has to deliver. And Waller has a lack of effort. And man, F Russell Wilson. John Ogle says, we can't play a full game. Is Waller the problem? Maybe. Matt Collins is a number one guy, and it was great meeting you this weekend, John, for sure.
Amen, dude. And Matt Collins, great call out there.
Yeah,
dude.
I love
that guy's
that.
money.
I love that. So Rev Raider called, says the team needs to just get in a Honda and ride around looking for big booty women. Says we don't suck. We're right there still, and the fan base just needs to chill out. Kil'jaedus called with his Raiders in the Wild piece.
Dude.
Absolutely. Mojo called with a belly full of riblets and Coors Light. His emotions are still running high, and he is ready for a change at quarterback and coach. Rico called, upsetting situations come from a lack of identity. And I love that.
Oh, that's
I love it.
dope,
I love
dude.
it.
Yeah.
Andy Rooney called with his take on jersey etiquette. Houston Raider Steve just sang us Beverly Hillbillies, and we loved meeting you as well, Houston Raider Steve. Yeah. Raider Ramon calls, R.I.P. Mosh's chair, fly high king. No fire was on the sidelines, that's for sure, but he had an amazing trip. Let's effing go. And Ron says, no one's comfortable. We're going through the motions. DC has to be the leader. The C is on his chest for a reason. But tonight, the BRT Sizzler Award is going to go to Kil'jaedus.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today!
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Mac Hollins. Raiders, get your head out of your ass.
Hey, you go.
Okay, I'll go. I wanted to give everyone a sizzler tonight.
Well, I was just going to say, like, because Kil'jaedus went, dude, bro, you went top rope with that.
Yes.
The production quality, the humor, the freaking slow burn. It was perfect. That was an amazing call.
I want to. Okay, how many calls were there?
Like 18, and we normally only get like 6 to 10 or whatever. Can we maybe throw out like an email one or something, or like, I don't know, dude. I feel like I want to spread like more love because
hey, Paul,
it's almost.
Hey, Paul, are you ready for this?
Paul,
are you listening?
Paul.
Matthew Mangus, T-Hom, Tider Raider, Raider Gill, Silver and Black Mac, Rosino, White Stallion Raider, Stacy Ruff, Storm, Lucid Raider, William in the 530, Alex from Dallas, PSP Raiderette, Josh in the 703, John Ogle, Rev Raider, Kil'jaedus, Mojo, Rico, Andy Rooney, Houston Raider Steve, Ramon, and Ron. Everybody gets a sizzler tonight.
No way!
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
You get a sizzler.
Sizzler.
You get a sizzler, and you get a sizzler,
and you get a sizzler.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
Let's go.
And I will say this, dude, and let's do this because I want to definitely still highlight Kil'jaedus and not let that call.
No, man.
Like, listen, everyone gets a sizzler. But let's do this. So when Bussin' with the Boys, when they do their tier talk, sometimes there's God tier. Like, you just don't even count. Like, so you're picking your favorite things.
No, you know what? This is what we're going to do.
Okay, go.
Everyone gets a sizzler tonight. Kil'jaedus, email me, swag@RaidersFanRadio.com. I'm going to send you a t-shirt.
There you go. Perfect. Do it.
There you go.
You went God tier with that one, bro. That's
great.
Well, you went fanny tier. That's what we'll call it.
Absolutely.
It's not God tier. It's fanny tier. That you definitely went fanny tier. That was amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what, Paul? You give yourself a sizzler too, and give Capo one as well.
Damn,
everybody, dude, I
want a sizzler. Wait a minute.
Everyone gets a sizzler. We making it rain up in this bitch.
Vibrator Valerie says it's raining sizzlers.
Hell yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hell yeah.
All right, here we go. So great job there, everybody. Seriously, y'all tonight, like when we say more of you and less of us is a good thing, this is exactly why. And I don't know how long we're going for. We're bumping up on like, I think a 3-hour show. And and it was worth 100% of it. You all freaking rule. Please keep those calls coming. Let's get out of here for the night. I want to thank all of you, everyone that was in town this weekend. You know we love you. And Raider Nation truly is family, and we felt it. It was visceral. It was real this weekend. And look forward to meeting more of you when we're going to head out to the Raiders Patriots game in December, when we're out there for the Blendikoff Awards. We'll look forward to meeting more of you out there. And just thank you to the chat room tonight. Everybody else, I'm going to leave it to Swag Jeff to take us out of here. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for on behalf of the foundation. And we will see you next week.
Absolutely. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Pineapple, Paul, Ebony Graves, Kil'jaedus, Michelle Sweat, William Holcomb, Tyrone Graves, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Paul, Sonny's in there, Vibrator's in there, John Ogle, William Holcomb, Franklin83, Ron holding it down, man, Fabricator Gill, Lala Meloso. Thank you guys so very, very much. And congratulations to everyone that contacted the show this week, because everyone gets a damn sizzler. Yeah, absolutely. And Vibrator says, I'll give Murph a sizzler. Easy, Vibrator.
Hey, Tyrone was asking, where's the call that we made from inside the fan cave? It was inaudible. We couldn't hear. There was so many of us just screaming and hooting and hollering. You couldn't really hear it, and that's why.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? We raised $286 tonight for the One Nation Foundation. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. So, hey, thanks everyone for tuning in to another amazing episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Whether it was good or bad. You know what I mean? We're going to win this week.
Let's go. Let's beat the donkeys, man.
Let's ride, jackasses.
Let's make it a good story. We always root for the story. Good night, YouTube.
Goodbye.